It's your boy Juice, a.k.a. The Juice is Loose. Studio 231 is located in the beautiful and trendy Lower East Side of Manhattan with studio rates and full studio setup. If you'd like to record with me at Studio 231, you can reach me at juice-cannon.com or Twitter at juicecannon.
Last Up on the L is proudly sponsored by Dulce Amore Couture, premium couture accessory line, specializing in jewelry and watches featuring the handcrafted Amore collection. Based in New York City, but not limited to. You can meet Miss Yeezy Smith on Facebook / Dulce Amore Couture or Instagram Dulce Amore Couture, or visit the website dulceamorecouture.bigcartel.com.
This is Canarsie, Rockaway Parkway. The next stop on this Brooklyn-bound podcast is Last Stop on the L. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
It's a perfect plan. So inspired, so devious, yet so simple.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
This is what I do.
Damn. But think about it, son. She leveled up her game. Her marketing right now is dope. You know what I'm saying? She got models. She ain't even asked me. You know what I'm saying? I get the type. You know what I'm saying? I want a chain. Let me rock the chain. You know.
It's on sale on the website.
I want a chain.
Okay. Welcome back, folks. The episode has started.
Yo, y'all be conspiring.
What y'all are listening to is Mayhem trying to finesse Yeezy out of some free jewelry.
Right. Yeezy, free my chain.
It's your boy Daddy Ocean, DANNYOCI. I know we've been gone for a while, people. Yeah. You know, we had to take the break. Life happened.
Yeah, some shit to do.
Shit got hot outside.
Life comes at you fast.
I had to get naked. Right.
I had to go to training camp for the Cavs. You know, LeBron about to leave. I know they're looking for anybody.
Oh my God.
You saw the way Jordan Clarkson was playing? They looking for anybody. All right.
He needs some milk.
Listen, my non-sport watching ass was like, damn. It's like a whole 4 minutes left.
I know everybody was roasting JR, right? But
he showed up in the last game.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we ain't throwing cookies to Henny Smith. Okay. All right.
Brown rounds. Anything is possible.
that old man in the back smoking cigarettes.
Buster had the nerve to be on video. I thought the game was tied. You could see him read his lips, but after the game was like, I knew the score. Nigga.
No, you didn't.
You have a proven track record of fuckery when it comes to last minute shots.
But I was going to say, I know everybody's getting on J.R. Smith, right?
Yeah.
But statistically speaking, because they broke down, they always break down all the stats, Jordan Clarkson had the worst playoff run of any player in NBA history in terms of every time he got on the floor, he negatively impacted his team.
Damn.
Wait.
Like he got up and then...
And like, this nigga's on the court now.
I love how we didn't even bother, introducing ourselves again.
I was trying to kick it to y'all.
Listen, this is how we do. Like, we can get to it. We can get into it.
And go to the next person. That's what I do.
It's your boy Chris from Highbridge. We in the building.
Word.
It's your boy Mayhem, Mike YFR Mayhem on Twitter. Obviously, Vonna Sage has a problem with she looking at me crazy. Organization. She wants us to be organized.
I'm just saying that I haven't been on here in a minute, so I would like to be able to say what up, though.
Anyway,
that's it.
New head, who this? Vonna Sage.
Oh yeah, right. New dude, right?
Yeah.
So a lot has happened.
Thanks for that.
Since we've been gone. A lot. There's so much shit that's happening
behind the scenes,
like in entertainment, in real world news. I don't know what y'all want to start with.
There's a lot of fuckery going on.
I'll start with a really cool thing.
Okay.
So Vonna Sage, you actually have one of your people's like they want you to recommend more of the book list. So maybe that's a thing we can start doing from now on. Sage's book list.
You did say that.
I was about. Thank you. I appreciate
that.
the throwing in the Sage part because. I read books. I'm sorry.
Well,
I read, just not books.
That wasn't the most low-key educated shade.
But he put you on a pedestal though, because you the one that reads books.
I would say thank you for adding Sage's name.
Right?
That's a lot of pressure for me. I have to go back to like.
She said she's a non-sports playing ass, so she doesn't know how to identify alley-oop, bro. Don't worry about it.
What the fuck? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That was the live to you to put yourself out there. Like, I read Sage's list. No, you're not gonna run
Just
with
for
it?
the record,
All right.
I read every day. Okay, just not a deep book reading.
We all read captions on Instagram, Danny.
Wow. First of all, some of those are thoughtful. Okay? Those
Especially the ones where they wear bikinis and they're real deep underneath it.
The ones where they have half clothes on.
Yeah.
They got all kinds of highlights.
It was a
on
breezy
their
day.
feet and
So,
shit.
Hey, they asked me some very
Have
deep
a-
questions to make a
have
brother
a-
want to think.
A
Like,
very
what's
bright,
your favorite?
a very
flavor
bright
ice cream?
colored
Like,
G-string
I have to think
bikini
about
with
that.
a roomy quote underneath it.
What a
With a roomy quote underneath it.
Oh my God! You get a high five for that
Yeah.
shade, baby. That was funny.
My favorite is when you can't even see their face and there's like a Bible verse like, you doing the most.
And here you go, like double tap.
Well, I mean, they gotta give the, like for effort. Anywho.
You gotta support.
I'm out here supporting black business.
No, say it correct. I'm out here supporting black sisters.
You right.
They say we don't support them. Here's a like.
That's the smallest violin in the world right now.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I ain't full of shit. Anyway, so actually, I do have a update on the book that I read recently, and I finished another book. So Blood and Bone is the second book. Is going to be a trilogy. Second book is going to be coming out next year in February. And shout out to Tony Adeyemi because she got greenlit for sure for her movie deal.
That's
How
dope.
many?
Yeah, seven figure, 8 figure.
8 figure.
Woo! Go ahead,
Like,
mama.
yes,
For the trilogy.
I'm so happy.
That's
for
good.
her.
Yep.
And then the other lady, excuse me, the other book that I finished reading. Well, I really listened because I do audiobooks because I don't have time to always open a book, but I am gonna start buying the books because I want to make sure that they get all the monies, all the coins.
And autographed.
And I do want to get it autographed. It's called The Bells, and that is by a Donnell. Give me 1 second. I forget her last name. Oh my God, I can't remember her last name. I'm horrible with names, as you can see. But anyway, The Bells. It's a very short book, and it's a futuristic, but also very Victorian French setting. It's very weird. It's almost like steampunk, future. Marie Antoinette. So none of you guys are going to want to read that. I already know this, so that's why I don't really do too many of my reviews because I do know some of the people that are listening from my. Thank you, baby, Danelle Clayton. So she wrote The Bells. She's on a book tour with a whole bunch of other artists and authors right now.
Support black sisters.
So this book, I'm gonna just go ahead and say that most men that are hetero might not want to listen to it or read it because it is very much into beauty and the aesthetic, but there's a really deep hidden message behind that. But I loved it because I love low-key, high-key, like Marie Antoinette shit, because I just like that real lush setting of opulence and just having mad money to just piss and shit away. Yeah, so that was the last book I listened to. I listened to 2 or 3 times. That's how quick it was to get through. So I could really get into the layers. And I don't know when her next book of that series is coming back out, but I'm really excited because it definitely left you oh shit, what's about to happen next?
And Shorty's Instagram's kind of lit though, because she be putting up a lot of artwork
Okay.
associated to the book.
So she has her own Instagram, and then she has an Instagram for just The Bells. And it's full of all the different kind of images that she thinks would be found in the book because it's very much very.
So she's world building.
Yeah,
yes,
pretty
basically.
much.
Okay. And I'm already in my head because I like to do this. I like to think about the people that I think would play the characters, and one of the people is Amandla.
Oh, Stenberg?
Yes, I think she would play the lead character, Camille. Hands down. If not her, then it would be the black chick that was in Lost in Space, Judy. She could play her because in my head, that's who I see is either one of those 2 women. So,
Okay.
very excited. And I haven't started another book because I'm waiting for Michelle Obama's book to come out. And
What's it called again? Do you know the name? Because I know they
Michelle
announced
Obama's?
it. Yeah.
Hold, please.
That means no for right now.
Listen, first of all,
I know it's some inspiring name.
It's fucking Michelle Obama. I ain't got to say shit else but Michelle Obama, and I'll be hyped.
Becoming?
Becoming Michelle Obama, yeah.
No, it's called Becoming. Becoming 2018 as far as I got.
Yeah, that's coming out.
That sounds like a campaign book.
Yo, she don't want none of
No
that.
smoke. She
She
don't
don't
want
want
no
none of
smoke.
that.
Whenever politicians are gearing up to run for office,
They write a book.
They write a book that basically outlines their beliefs. Why would you name a book Becoming?
Oh boy.
She's no longer the first lady. She is.
No, but she has her own story to tell. She is just as successful, if not more successful.
I'm not
than
doubting that.
Barack.
Maybe she got hired to write a script for Melania.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, I'm standing under
Blackout.
the trees today, bro. It's a lot of shade going around.
Yo, Melania moving like she got warrants, yo.
Yo, shorty went to the hospital and disappeared. She was like, nah, I'm gonna send out my clone. Fuck that. You ain't getting none of this.
Another book that I am interested in reading is called Dread Nation, and it's basically pre-Civil War, and instead of people fighting besides the Confederacy and the Union fighting each other, it's actually a zombie breakout, and then they are freeing the slaves so the slaves can become part of one united army to fight off these zombies. It's very interesting. Another book written by a sister of color.
I don't know if I can believe the premise to that book.
Yeah, because they normally put us on the front line for cannon fodder.
No. I'm just saying. If we talking the 1800s, right? Mm-hmm. If we talking 1800s white Southerners, and they had a choice between zombie apocalypse and black equality, I don't know if they're gonna make the right choice, though.
It's a what if book. It's like Marvel Comics, what if? Whatever. What?
Oh my god.
You have a moment of pause, and the slave's like, "Are you really thinking about this shit?" You ain't shit.
Damn, Danny.
I'm sorry. Listen, man, we forget.
Sad but true, bro.
Hit him with the damn, Daniel.
We forget this is the least racist generation of America that's ever existed. This is our measuring stick. So the further back we go, the more racist we get.
You're right. Damn.
Yeah, no, that's one of, like, I read like a little snippet of it. That's one of the underlying issues. It's like people like really conflicted. Like, I like to live, but I really don't want to pick this cotton. Like, seriously. So it's like, it's definitely like one of those things that's going to be discussed in the book, even though it's a fantasy book or a historical fantasy book, I guess, technically. But yeah, it's very interesting looking. So I'm going to read that next or listen to that.
You know, someone actually told me that being a zombie was a choice.
Amari West? Amari West? Oh, okay.
What the fuck? Who is he talking to? This is a kid. This is a kid. This wasn't an adult.
She's actually looking for a real person.
Oh,
confused. I'm like, there's no way in fuck.
Let's talk about how the fact that Barack Obama actually has a Netflix deal.
Blackout. Actually, Barack and Michelle.
First of all, can we get a Netflix deal? Because they cut in checks. Listen, I don't want to bring up an old subject, but just FYI, if you want to offer this Negro $500K, I'm out. I'm out. Just FYI. Let me know. Let me know.
Listen, I'm glad they building out their content.
Yeah, they're gonna have a whole bunch of like scripted series, documentaries, and all sort of stuff. I think that would be dope. Like,
I have a controversial opinion.
uh-oh.
So Netflix is building out their content based on subscriber growth, right? Okay. They have a long ways to go because there's still a lot more people that can add Netflix subscriptions, but the amount of debt that they've taken on in the last 2 years is nothing minor, considering we've seen companies collapse under that weight. Even though they're doing well, the debt eventually caught up with them because when numbers slow, bills are due. Right? So I'm not saying that, things are going to go south. I'm just saying they're too comfortable with spending this sort of money willy-nilly. I assume they have plans at some point to kind of put some downward pressure on that borrowing, but that ain't soon. So as I said, if you got a check for us, I got a bunch of shows I can pitch to you right now.
I just want to add on and say that I don't think they're worried about it because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is the worst case scenario is they're going to get bought out. I think they're gonna. I don't know who, but who wouldn't want the shares of attention that they have?
Honestly, the only company that I can see buying
Disney.
Netflix and it being lucrative for them.
Oh God, don't let Disney buy Netflix.
That's
exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. No, no, because remember not too long ago, Vonna Sage talked about Disney on demand, all this other stuff, and I was
gonna take a lot of streaming away from Netflix. Like
I don't think so.
No,
there's mad.
No.
Do you have a toddler around you?
Not even.
Do you know how much
Netflix
fucking
is
Netflix watches the kid? The kid don't watch it. The fucking TV watches the kid.
No one doubts that. Disney has that vault, but let's not pretend we're not living with a Netflix generation right now. Like, if you talk to a bunch of kids from elementary on about what their favorite TV shows are, it's going to be either YouTube or Netflix. They're not going to mention
you know
general
what the funny
TV
thing
stuff.
is? I actually watched a video on YouTube, oddly enough, but he was asking like a whole bunch of kids because he was talking about like the millennial generation and how everything changed around. Mm-hmm. He was like, let's just ask this new generation from like 7 and below what they want to be when they want to grow up. And a lot of them say they want to be either gamers or YouTube stars. So realizing that the shit doesn't really pay that well.
But it's some shit they want to do because they see other people do it.
And that's the generation that's growing up with that now. So, I don't know.
I'm not saying Disney won't be successful. I think they will be. But they're going to run into the same issue Apple did. Because when Apple came into the streaming game, they thought everyone's going to leave Spotify.
Right.
Well, that's not the case. Like, Apple still exists. It's still successful. But Spotify's pissing on them. And they're going to keep by a lot. It's not even close.
I dislike
Apple's
Spotify.
number.
Hold on. We like Spotify if they cut the check.
Nah.
Spotify sponsors podcasts. Again, Spotify.
But I'm mad that...
What's up?
I'm mad that Spotify is really taking like a lot of money away from artists though, bro. Because if you look at you look at the streaming numbers versus everything else and the checks that get cut from Spotify toward the person, that shit is rape. Like raping you records, bro. Like 2018, son. It's not.
Damn.
Nobody's getting rich off of Spotify.
That's an old classic. Hold on. Yeah, I need to stop for a moment. That old skit. Y'all need to look that up if y'all don't know what that is. If you claim you listen to rap. I just want to say when it comes to Disney, I think Disney will actually take over a little bit only because they have writers. You got to look at some of the things that they're doing now, especially with Marvel writers. I think they'll be able to compete, and that's the thing. I don't think in the long run Netflix can financially. I'm gonna let you speak. Definitely, financially can compete with Disney. I don't think they can.
Hell no.
As of right now, Netflix is the largest TV network in the world with the most regular viewers. It's 130 million subscribers worldwide.
That's awesome.
And with content for every market.
Also, Netflix cut the check.
So, like, whenever you get a Netflix show and that shit goes live on Friday, that's a global event.
Yeah.
Like, the Stranger Things cast isn't America famous.
It's world famous.
Yeah.
It goes anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Also,
sorry,
cut a check that will clear Netflix. Thank you.
Sorry, Bonnie, what you saying?
Do I remember? Yes, I do. Fuckers. I was going to say, what happens if Disney wants to pull Netflix original shit because it's under Marvel?
They're not going to at the moment. Anyway.
How do you know? You got the plug?
No, because the streaming service is coming up, and right now you can go on Disney and watch Netflix and watch Doctor Strange.
No. I'm not even talking about this like Marvel Disney. I'm talking about the shit that Netflix has created under Marvel, like the Defenders. That's what I'm saying, because that's who owns the primary rights to that? Is that Disney or is that Netflix?
Well, no, Disney owns it, but Netflix has exclusivity rights.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
I think Disney has better lawyers.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
no, exclusivity rights expire. There's a sunset clause. Mm-hmm. So after a certain amount of time, they can go wherever.
Right.
But in terms of for this time now, you can only get it on Netflix or DVD. That's
right.
it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's that. I think Disney is probably going to try to make a power move and like be neck and neck, because I'm telling you,
Netflix is preferred. Think about the money they threw at Shonda Rhimes.
Yeah.
They also took that dude that American Horror Story, the guy that makes that, Ryan Murphy. He made American Horror Story, Glee. He's also gone to Netflix.
Wow.
They
know TV's dying.
Did they take Tyler Perry too? I think they took Tyler Perry from Oprah. Let me Google that.
What?
Yeah.
Lionsgate?
No wonder they're in debt.
Listen, Oprah probably told him to go.
Right.
Get the coins, bro.
Yeah, she ain't
Like
gonna be mad.
she didn't put him out there for
First
him to
of
stay
all,
broke.
he
Childish Gambino say, "Get your money, black man."
So he's still making money off of OWN, so it's all good. And I think he helps with Greenleaf.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. They didn't take them. A Viacom took Tyler Perry.
Oh shit!
Damn. Yeah, that is worse.
I feel Tyler brought the kids to Oprah like, yo, they not even a dump truck. This is like an island they're throwing at me. You gonna cover this? She'd be like, go with God, nigga. Fuck out of here.
Love and light, Tyler. Love and light.
Like, go prosper. Check out.
I'm gonna go to my vineyard. Fuck this shit.
Shout out to Oprah because they just finished exhibit in the Smithsonian National African American Museum for her this week, and it's fucking amazing. So it's literally about Oprah's impression that she's given on the world and like her whole transition. And she saw it, she was like boo crying. Like, I'm so happy. So I gotta make sure I go see that this summer.
You know, I have to say, it's kind of crazy that there's more than one network dedicated to black content. Like, it's it's something that we don't really think about and we make fun of them, but like,
because it's
black folks in Brazil is like,
they don't have shit.
Yeah, y'all don't even know.
Yeah, nah.
Right.
I can't see myself on the news.
Right.
Fuck.
No, like, you know what? I think at first, for me, I remember growing up watching BET, but I also used to watch VH1, MTV.
Yeah.
I watched all the music channels. But then when BET started growing their content beyond music, it did become significant. Like, what was it, the show? College Park? Was that the name of it?
Yeah.
What was it? Anyway, when they started doing that college show was hype. When they showed, like, Spring Break for college students.
Spring Bling?
Spring Bling, yes. Like, then when they started doing their own hip-hop and regular BET Awards, that stuff meant a lot to me. But then it's like, okay, at what point are you going to stop rehashing the same content? Because I think this generation...
Deborah or Debbie...
She's leaving.
She stepped down?
She's stepping down.
And so did the other guy, the famous black dude who used to work for BET. I forgot his name. He got fired too.
Oh, shit.
But no, they've been doing that. Think about the New Edition miniseries. That shit was huge.
That was
That was.
They're coming back with the Bobby Brown,
which is good
miniseries.
Because like this, there's certain what?
Yeah, with the Bobby Brown miniseries.
Okay.
Every time I think of Bobby Brown, I was thinking of a Jay-Z line. To be Bobby, then you gotta be Bobby now.
Every time I think of Bobby Brown, I think of how crazy he looked in that Ja Rule video, and I can't get
La Jaw.
Oh,
what Pusha T said when them kilos came, I gave you Bobby Brown jaw.
Every time.
Shout out to Pusha, son. Shout out to Pusha. Shots fired.
Factual statements.
Factual facts. Speaking of exhibits, can we talk about Ocean's 8 really quickly? I saw the movie. I came in, I supported. Here's the reason why I didn't like the movie as much, because I'm ready for your shade, Vonna. The script and the dialogue isn't the same, which isn't a bad thing because, I'm expecting different. Don't remake the wheel. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't as captivating. It wasn't as funny as it was. As far as the end, as far as because they always have the big reveal on how things went about. It was okay. It was okay. It was. It's not up to standards.
I gotta watch this.
I kind of feel like the characters weren't so fully developed.
Okay.
Could it be that it was less characters than you're used to seeing?
No. Because
what Ocean's 13? It's 5 extra people.
So here's the crazy part, right?
That's 5 extra stories.
Here's the crazy part,
plot
right?
Lines.
Everybody's character in any of the original Ocean's movies, they all flowed. They all kind of had a chemistry. Whether the chemistry wasn't working or not, it was still kind of like a chemistry. There's a great story behind it. They kind of brought it. It's not the same. There's a lot of female comedy there that I caught. As a guy, at first I was like, but I was like, oh, this makes sense. This is funny. But it's just like, it's not enough.
So was it technically made for you?
Yes and no. It was made to kind of keep the male audience as well entertained, but there was definitely some female comedy, some female entrances in it. So I was just like,
You look so disinterested.
no, because it's like I don't mind a movie that's not made for me because I can enjoy it. It's taking a look on the other side of the glass. But when you break it down, you look at the story, you look at how it flowed, you look at everything all together. It's like, and then this is coming from an Ocean's movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot riding on it. It's funny because Juice gave it 7 out of 10. I don't think that's really good. If you're coming from an Ocean's movie, you should be doing 8 or more.
But not all the Ocean's
No
movies
pun
were
intended.
good, though.
Right. Like,
That's
a
just
lot of people didn't really care
My
for
name
the
is
last
Daddy
one.
Ocean. I say that freely. Like, not all the Ocean's movies were good. Sorry.
All right, well, then this is it. I give it a 5 out of 10.
I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's funny because this is a observation I made with High Bridges' brother like years ago. Because little backstory, he would always get mad when he would watch Harry Potter, and that like Hermione had to be like all the better things in Harry and Ron, and he had a problem with it. I was like, "The fuck is wrong with you?" And he was like, "Why are you so?" I'm like, "Do you have an issue with a self-saving heroine?" He was like, "What?" I'm like, "Do you have an issue with a woman not realizing it, but a woman that can save themselves?" He was like, "I don't understand what you're saying." And like, I literally had to sit there and psychoanalyze it with his girlfriend in front of him. She was like, "Yeah, you kind of do have that problem."
Oh, snap.
So
Sucks to be him.
That's awkward.
That moment
like,
when
maybe you might, and this is only because I can go off of maybe 2 or 3 other instances where you have a problem with either all female cast or a female lead. You might have a slight issue with that, but I also haven't seen the movie, so I can't even
receipts.
I
need the receipts.
When you when you said Wonder Woman was like the worst movie ever, I was like, okay, let me see it. And I saw it. I was like, this was great. But again, we speak differently from you guys, so there's certain things that'll fucking ping in our hearts, and you'll be like, what the fuck was the point of her saying that? So we speak different languages, but I think it's funny because women have to be subjected to constant like bombardment of like male shit, and it's just like, okay, you have to just deal with it. And then when a guy has to go see something that's exclusively feminine or something that's geared towards women,
right,
they have such harsh opinions on it because there's such a 747 moment where like, I don't get it.
Yeah, like case in point, we saw Girls Trip most recently on HBO
that
Go.
Shit had me dying.
Hilarious movie. I cringed at a couple points. I was like, this isn't meant for me. This part isn't meant for me.
Right.
But the rest of the shit's funny.
I thought that was funny, and I like to think that we're both woken enough to be like, yo, this movie or this part isn't meant for me, but I still appreciate it. When it comes to Wonder Woman, I wasn't mad at the fact, because like, it's about Wonder Woman. Like, of course, it's all about the power in women. My problem was the story and how it unfolded, the graphics, because you could tell the graphics, even the part where she's like jumping down to get something as a kid, and they fast forward. It was just horrible, and then it was just bad. But then it was just like, it was lackluster. But I pointed out they had some really great parts when it talks about feminism, like the part where she was getting dressed, and she was like, "Why'd I have to get dressed?" to the meeting, to the council. So I don't know. Go see the movie. I don't think it's that with me.
Right, I have to go see it, so I can't even give you like a full on like.
Thank you, Dr. Vonna. Thank you, Dr. Sage.
You're welcome. But I'm taking notice.
What other movie?
No.
What other?
She's coming up with a profile for you, bro.
That's fine.
She's got a folder.
I'm gonna
That's
fine.
fine. I personally listen. Wonder Woman, I didn't like. I appreciated the underwriting and all this sort of stuff. I didn't like it. That's fine. Justice League, we're not going to talk about. But Ocean's 8 just didn't grab me, and I took in consideration that it wasn't meant for me. Right. There's a lot of jokes. There's a lot of satire for women in that movie. I will not deny that. Like, you're going to come in there and you're going to be like, what does that even mean? But at the same time, you take that apart and you look at the story, you look at the comedy, you look at how it flows, and it's just like,
I feel like okay, that's another layer to my analyzing
analysis.
You judge, you critique mostly female cinema extremely harshly.
I judge all cinema harshly.
No,
what cinema have I given a pass that I haven't judged harshly?
No. You be like,
As Danny puts his
When
face on his hand to watch this play out.
You'll be like, at this scene, 23 minutes, 58 seconds in.
Sound like a YouTube troll.
The fucking CGI. The CGI man fucked up. Where was you at? Like,
the video starts at 3:57.
Okay.
Put a pause on that. Because on Batman versus Superman. Listen, on Batman versus Superman, I constantly talk about how the Batmobile goes through a wall, concrete wall. It took 2 missiles, matter of fact, from the truck and an actual boat, but only gets stopped because Superman. I'm like, what the hell is this stupidness? I critique the hell out of that movie. So it's not women.
Did you just say because Superman stopped that wasn't realistic?
No, it was like, what the hell is this crap? It should have stopped from before because it went through so much stuff.
Time out.
Stick a
You
pin in
have to give an example of a female-centered movie in which he was critical.
I said.
Did you use
Wonder Woman.
Oceans?
That I haven't seen
Wonder
it yet,
Woman.
so I can't.
She's saying Wonder Woman.
Were you
Are you
not
using
listening,
Wonder Woman?
nigga? Was you paying attention?
No, I was, because I'm like, he hated Wonder Woman as a superhero movie, though.
But it's just so happened.
I do.
I'm not saying
Not
that
all,
he
but
isn't an equal opportunist on the shade.
kind of sounds like you are.
What I'm saying is, I've noticed a trend of you being extremely critical of something, and the trend is that it's usually either all female or female lead.
Could you give us another movie?
That's what I'm trying to. I have receipts. I'm trying to remember the other one, and I can't.
Because what's that movie that you wanted us to see? A Wrinkle in Time. I like The Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, that was the other one. You know what's funny? I didn't see it. I read the book. So
What?
Okay. But no. And I also know why you didn't care for it. Again, that wasn't for you.
Right.
That was a teen. That was strictly very much a young adult.
Yeah, I was about to say it was a young movie.
That was a very female.
I had a female
Specifically
friend
woman of color.
who loved that book as a kid.
Yeah.
And when she saw the movie, she was like,
That's what I feel like they waited they waited a really long time to do it. That's an old book, and then to not only just give it a modern twist, but like to make it very visually stimulating. I feel like it was maybe too much for people, but again, that wasn't a movie for you.
Okay, so since everybody needs receipts, can we stick a pin in it?
yes.
Of course. Come at me, bro.
I will say this, though. Whoever produced the Ocean's 8 movie is still happy with the weekend box office. It cost $70 million in production, and it's projected to do $41.5 million.
Because the Vahinas showed up.
One weekend now, 69% of the audience
Listen,
was female.
y'all are the main consumers
Right.
of damn near everything in this fucking country.
That's what really
In this country
my
alone.
undercurrent of my argument is the fact that women show up for shit that we really fucking want to see, and even if we halfway want to see it, we're like, all right, well, I'll
For the Vahinas.
$15 just so they can, yeah. I'm done with you.
Anyway.
You know what blew my shit talking about movies this week? When someone was like, some people are like, I don't want to see The Incredibles 2 because it's 14 years in the make. I'm like, hold the fuck up. This movie is 14 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't realize how old it was?
Listen.
Let me tell you, bro. Let that shit sink in, man.
Let me tell you how hype I am for this movie.
We know.
First of all, I've been saying this for a long time.
Countdown since last year.
Drake, we know.
We know. So, I appreciate the guy in charge because he was like, we didn't want to make a second movie because it was either going to be the same as the first one and nobody wants that, or was it going to measure up? So they had to literally constantly switch writers and constantly keep at it. And I love that. And I look at some of the previews. I watched one good preview. That's it. I watched Wreck-It Ralph. Somebody put that, the first preview, and then Vonna gave me the second one on the Book of Face, and I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna watch it because I definitely want to see that part when that kid screams, the little girl screams in the car because the bunny got overfed and pops.
That was crazy.
As a little boy in me right there, I can't help but giggle at that shit.
Hell yeah.
It's a game.
Your bunny popped.
That shit went. I was like, oh.
But also, they put all the princesses in the room.
All the princesses.
They were trying to come at Disney for that. Mulan was there.
And Mulan was there. I was like, wait, hold for receipts.
Moana was there, and they even tried to say Moana wasn't a princess. Shout out to them for trying. Yeah. And then the way what's her name, Cinderella broke the glass slipper.
She was like, bitch. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, you didn't see that preview? You look so disinterested.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wreck-It Ralph 2, the movie.
There's a Wreck-It Ralph 2 coming?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move forward and talk about the Red Table.
Oh, no. Because I was listening to y'all, I'm like, Did we watch different movies? Like, I don't remember none of these scenes.
This is lost on me.
You probably haven't watched the updated trailers, if anything. But
I didn't even know there was a Wreck-It Ralph 2 coming, period.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
really
Never
soon.
okay.
Okay. Did
But
you see
it
the
was
first
alright.
one?
It didn't like hit me in my... It was all right.
I love it.
There was no anticipation for
It was
him.
so cute.
Vonna, what's
I enjoyed like the Call of Duty part of the movie.
Of course,
I found that very
you
hilarious.
did.
But
Jane Lynch is a fucking mess. I knew who the fuck that was based on her character and her voice. I said, that's Jane fucking Lynch.
yeah,
There she go.
her check's a healthy post Glee, boy.
Listen.
After years of being a bit character, she did Glee. She was like...
She was mad funny in Glee.
She's been mad funny forever.
Yes, she has.
I've watched several of her comedy specials.
I ain't showing up unless it's boat payments. Fuck out of here.
Fuck that. I need a down payment. I need that shit on the water.
show up with the boat, goddamn it.
Oh my god.
Vonna, would you lead us in and tell us about the Red Table Talk?
Sure. So recently, Jada has been getting that Facebook money. She has an exclusive deal with the Book of Face. Her daughter and her mom are having these awesome discussions called Red Table Talk, and it basically tackles a whole bunch of personal life experiences that she herself, her mom, her daughter, and other women have possibly been through or like have seen other women go through. And it's very fucking interesting. I think the first one is when she had with her, with Will's ex-wife, Cherie. And they basically had a very open and candid discussion about the beginning of their co-parenting relationship and how it was very difficult for them to find the ebb and flow. And she actually did that with just her and Cherie, and her daughter and her mom watched it. They were like, did this go off well? They were like genuinely concerned. It was really cute. But that went really well, and the mom and daughter were like so like thrilled about that interaction and the fact that you can actually have a woman from a past relationship and a woman from the current relationship come together and help raise children and raise a conducive, healthy family unit. And it doesn't have to be about baby mama drama. It doesn't have to be about where's my check. It doesn't have to be about jealousy. Oh boy. What is this?
I'm saying that's entirely possible, but it would be dope. Because no, this is a great conversation. I would love to see like a little special or report on how families who have similar situations,
A blended family.
blended families who do it on like a middle income salary. Because when you're really rich, man, a lot of shit's possible, boy.
Well, no. Let's not get it
Forgiveness
twisted.
is
Did you see the first
possible.
episode? Did you see it?
Side babies is possible. Like a lot of shit.
Well, no.
is possible. I'm not even being funny. I'm being dead serious.
No, I mean, honestly, petty is petty no matter how much fucking money you have in your pocket.
You sure?
Because I'm absolutely sure. Because look at Black China's ass.
I'm not going to say his name, but there are rappers and basketball players who had a whole ass baby during their engagement period that now everyone's in pictures cheesing and getting along. And I'm like, the only reason that's possible is because if we remove some money from this scenario,
I mean,
a lot of shit's not getting brushed
Are
under
we
the rug.
technically talking about the person that was in the third table talk that she filmed?
That's another one. Thank you, baby.
Oh,
That was wow. I just
Listen, it's not like it's not the internet don't exist. Everybody,
That was some shade.
I listen.
He doesn't even know what you're talking about. That's what's funny. Do you?
Listen.
You do? Oh.
I
Listen,
didn't
but
name any names.
I'ma name that
I'm
name.
just saying that there have been people who've gone through this experience, and I'm not judging them. That this I don't making jokes, but in all seriousness, I think when you remove the financial element out of this, the stressors become social emotional, and money helps you deal with that even better. I'm more interested to see when people have those conversations when they do that successfily when they're middle class or below.
I've seen
because that takes a lot.
I'll
more
give you
Away
that.
from my content.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'll give him that
I was
point
giving a nice.
because this person who you
I
were
was
talking
silent.
about
Silent and supportive.
had enough money to actually hire a life coach to help them get past some of the things that they had, which led to the Red Table Talk that we are talking about with this no-name person. and they
table.
had a lot of issues.
Which is also
I'm
right.
going to talk about her. Can I goddamn it, finish my review?
Sorry, go
Agreed.
ahead. We
Jesus.
apologize.
We can't have an opinion on your review.
No, bitch, I'm not done with it yet.
Sorry.
I love you, baby.
Stop adding cliff notes to her paragraph, damn it.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Anyway, it was a beautiful
Soliloquies.
moment about co-parenting. It was awesome. Jesus. Anyway, next thing was like she discussed her issues with being beautiful and loving herself, and that's something that resonated with a lot of people. Because she suffers from alopecia, Jada. So that's why she, you didn't know that, right?
Yeah.
Was that sarcastic? Yes.
No, I didn't know
I saw the
that.
trailer for that episode.
See, well,
So-
you cheated. Okay.
No, I didn't watch any episode, but I've watched all the trailers.
How does he?
That's fucking
How does he cheat if he saw the trailer?
I saw the trailer. I
Let her
would
finish.
watch the show,
Let her
but
finish.
It's about deep emotional discussions, and I'm out. Sorry, go ahead. Like, I don't want to wait.
I may have daughters one day, bro. I don't have a choice.
I respect the fuck out of that.
The next
I may have no
episode-
choice one day. I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
You know, that's going to be a bridge to therapy deal for you, honey.
Shots fired.
It's going to be a long journey.
Daddy gonna be at the front line letting that shit spray. Let the chips fall where they may, goddammit.
Sorry, Vonna. I apologize. Go ahead.
Listen, they got too real. We had to lighten it up, Vonna. Damn. It took us down an emotional vortex. Niggas had to fight their way out. So hold up, let me grab my nuts real quick.
I don't do happy.
And we're back at the red table.
Oh, my God.
We're back at the red table talking about the red table.
The other episode that I saw that was really good was the one she did with Gabrielle Union, and they discussed how they had a professional disdain for each other.
Beef.
And it was basically, the overall topic was like how black women aren't encouraged to have a sisterhood in the industry. And this is something that I can resonate with this completely, because it's not even just in Hollywood that this is an issue. This is in life. Women have this, but we want to specifically talk about women of color, because we're often seen as having to compete on different levels of success, wealth, beauty, intelligence. And if you're doing something out of ambition to one up yourself, for a goals purpose, that's okay. But then there's also the vindictiveness of trying to one up your sister and step on her versus picking her up. And that's something that I think that's gotten lost over the years, with American culture and capitalism and all that shit. But that was a very interesting episode, because Gabrielle Union came out and said that she was a mean girl. And for any woman to be able to literally sit in her truth and say that she was a mean girl, that's a big fucking deal, because no one wants to be that person. And a lot of people hide their ugly side to make it seem like it's all good. But the fact that she worked through her emotions and her toxicity so much that she was able to say, this was who I was, I'm not that anymore, and I'm growing. That was like a really big deal for me. But yeah, Red Table Talks is the shit. Comes out, I think, every Wednesday. And then I think the next day she goes live with whoever was on the discussion with her. And they take live questions off of Facebook. So it's a very, very, very therapeutic way for people to check in and see, like, okay, this is someone that has been successful, has all the things that I want or didn't think was attainable, and they have real life issues. And it's a very honest and frank discussion that she has with her family members, and it's amazing. I love it. So yes, please check it out. Men too. Jesus Christ.
No, it looks good. And all joking aside,
Yeah.
Though I have to shout out Will Smith for this one thing, because Will Smith's a very positive, uplifting person, and they were. I think it was Jada was telling the story of when she said she wanted to have the first wife on the show to talk about their original issues.
My man tapped out.
And Will was like, that sounds dope. I ain't going to be there. But, like, do you? Even Will Smith, like, positivity has its
Y'all
limits.
can work that one out. I'm going to be in Australia.
Yeah, I'll positive. I won't be here.
I will send my energy. That's all you're going to get from me.
But the fact that could have even happened is...
Nah, but I think
that's a big deal.
But I think also one of the things that, like, at the beginning and in the trailer they said, Will was not having it.
Yeah, he made sure that they
Like,
both respect each other.
That's a big thing. When like the person that's technically in the middle and the cause of this situation to a certain degree is entertaining both sides of the coin, it does not bode well for anybody. Yeah. But if that one person who's the glue in this situation is like, look, you got to coexist and this is what I want. Y'all gonna have to figure this out if y'all both want to deal with me. That's a whole nother level of like precedent, because it's all about women empowerment, but he has to be an active participant in that shit for it to work out, because they could both be strong women and he could be an ain't shit nigga and it's not gonna work out.
No, I told,
and they also both have to respect him.
But that's why
exactly.
if they don't both respect him,
exactly, because he could say whatever the hell he wants. The baby mother would be like, you know what?
That's why I said co-parenting.
It reminded me of like years ago when Kevin Hart talked about the relationship between his ex-wife and his current wife. And they're like, no, we co-parent because the kids live with me when they're with me, and she's there. Like, you know, she's a great stepmom. The kids love her. They have a real, genuine bond. And then I forgot what interview he was on, and they asked him like, how do the women themselves get along? And Kevin Hart goes, they don't talk to each other. He's like, oh, they don't get along that well? He's like, no,
they don't talk.
They don't talk to each other.
That's fine.
Like the kids, like when we, the kids getting dropped off or picked up, I'm the only one talking. Just silence.
Listen, like, you know what? Know your boundaries. If
you're not at that place in life,
right? I'd rather someone not communicate with me directly. But only problem that can come up, that can rear its ugly head later on, because what happens if Kevin's not around to facilitate? At that point, you have to be an adult and be like, okay, we got to talk about something. But that whole situation is a clusterfuck in itself, so I can't even, don't use it as a gauge.
I mean, you know what? In all honesty, scheduling, like proper planning, like this dude's whole life is planned out.
Like what Danny said, that's because they are afforded that because they have money. If that wasn't the case, we've seen first fucking hand what it looks like in the middle of the lower class family situation.
But that's why I'm really curious to see how, with those situations, how they work when that element of like unlimited funds is basically removed. Because then you have to offer a lot more physical presence.
I'm not even gonna shade you with that observation, but at the same time, in my head, it's like, at some point, you're going to have to get the fuck over yourself. Because I don't care how much money you have or don't have. Yeah. It's about the fucking kids. And if your feelings are that deep, that where you feel like, why are y'all both leaning in like that?
Because it's about the kids. Listen, the petty is strong. The petty is strong, yes.
But no.
Like, we all are just in our mental Rolodex went.
But the thing about it is why I think that this, like, the red table talk happening is a good thing is because in this age of petty, where petty is endorsed as the norm,
right?
And you're not supposed to learn to be the bigger person, which is the course of life. As you get older, that's what you're supposed to do.
And get the fuck over your feelings occasionally.
This needs to be in the air. It had to be created because that energy's got to be put out there. And then you see all these people with this money who can possibly work on themselves.
People use money as an excuse for them to be petty. Oh, if I had the money, I wouldn't have to press the nigga.
No.
Money's an amplifier.
I just want to say for the record, I don't think money is the only reason they're successful.
Oh, no.
I'm saying that this show's great at modeling positive behavior. Right. But I would love to see a version also of this. Which average people.
But here's the thing with that. That's called love and hip hop, bro.
That's a fact.
I'll say
that's
this.
That's called love and hip hop. That's what that shit is.
It is. Is
this not the show with Peter Guns?
Jesus Christ.
This can't be it.
We didn't say what city.
This cannot be it.
We didn't say New York. I didn't say New York.
All right, Love and Hip Hop has spawned some good things. It has. We got a Cardi out of Love and Hip Hop.
And a Marla nigga.
And we got Jim Jones and his wife.
I'm not really gonna put
that. Hey, look. They still together. They still happy.
Were they married?
They got said the same thing just now. That's
a ghetto love, man. Just let it be a ghetto love.
That doesn't sound like a ring is involved. No. Was that a promise ring? That's ghetto love.
Now I am going to speak specifically.
My bad, Chrissy. Shit.
I'm going to speak specifically so the Vahinas listening to this show. If a nigga really kind of play with you like, oh, do we really? Yes, because if your ass drops the fuck dead, who gonna be fucking taking care of your ass or like taking care of your shit? That shit is so fucking unnecessary.
Why
like,
is she
stop
holding
it.
a mic stand like
no,
that?
because
She
that
about
is
to
this
tear the
shit
house
is
down.
listening. Like I hate that shit is so fucking irresponsible. Stop doing this. 2018. That whole hood love shit. You can be in the hood and still be married, nigga. Like stop it. Just be fucking responsible.
I'll just say this.
Probably the same niggas don't got no fucking health care with your dumb asses.
Whoa. Shit.
Wow.
I said it.
When it's free.
Shut. I'll just say this. When it comes to like how we treat each other in the middle class society, all these different views.
Middle and lower.
Middle and lower. You're right. And all these views and all these different things we address people like we need to cut out the middleman of what we hear and what we experience. In the example of the Red Table Talk where Jada, first of all, I saw this when Jada, Will, and the whole family actually was on Oprah, and I was like, yo, his positivity.
That was a while ago. So
yes,
it was.
His positivity, maybe a little bit too much because I'm a realist, although I do accept optimism. But I'm just like, you know what?
You like swipe the card. That's all you gotta get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you pay me. Let me see if this check goes through first. But
my nigga views optimism with suspicion. Like, you get a pass.
Honestly, because a lot of people I met at that time who were optimistic don't deal with life. They deal with life as it could be, not as it is. And to me, that's like, you have no place in my world because I'm dealing with the fire right now. And you're like, oh, the fire department's on the way. They'll take care of it. Ninja, there's a fire right here. You know what I'm saying? So then when it was revealed to the viewers in the audience that his ex-wife and their husband, and her husband, was there. Tristan, I think, was on the stage. I was like, yo, she's actually there. Yes. Then I was like, is there going to be a fight? I'm like, this is Oprah.
Say, Jerry.
This ain't
exactly. You know?
I'm Maury. This is not Jerry. This is not
So go look
Jesse.
that episode up because it's very inspiring. And I remember saying this, like, if I ever have a family, I kind of want that ideology where it's like, yo, because for a long time, Osha can attest to it, I wanted the kids without the mom because it's like everybody I know that's had the mom and things didn't work out, it became real bloody. And it's like they don't deserve that. I was kind of in a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Not necessarily as gory as it could be. I don't want to paint that picture, but I seen it myself firsthand. It affected how I dated women with children because it's like if I didn't see a future with us, I don't want to be part of this kid's life because I'm going to hurt that child in the long run psychologically.
Deal with it.
You know? And it's just like, at the end of the day, it's how are we telling people how to act? You understand? Like, for instance, like, if you're a girl and you deal with an ain't shit nigga, or if you're a man dealing with an ain't shit woman, leave.
Yes.
Get out while you can. Right. Because then when problems evolve, you have to, like, deal with it. When you have kids.
Deal with it the deeper you get into it.
And, you know, like, the courts aren't really made for men, so it's a losing battle. It's a losing battle.
I can definitely fucking attest to that.
It's a losing battle.
Not. The court system is so fucked against fathers, it's ridiculous.
And it's kind of like you have to deal with it as a man, but then you forget we have feelings, and we do end up petty shit. Exactly. Who ends up hurting more is, like, the kid overall. I'll give you a great example. One of the trainees that I had invited me to a birthday, right? She had a birthday. She had a graduation. She graduated with her master's, and she's in nursing right now. She's on her way to become a doctor and all this other stuff. And her mother was there. Now, obviously, the mother had a problem with the father from before. How did I find out about this? Because during the whole ceremony, she was like, and let me tell you about this man who came here. Her father, my family seemed to have made it. Him family don't make it. And I was just like, whoa. But that's because you have to realize who's in your corner.
Is over here.
So that, and West Indian, if you're West Indian right now, you already know.
Jackson eating popcorn.
I'm just here for the comments.
Oh, my God.
I had cake. So then, like, you know, she went to the religious thing about how supportive the Bible and God, blah, 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 like normal West Indians do.
Who want to hear this shit? This ain't your day.
Oh, no,
it is now.
It is now. So, but, like, something like that happens when it's not needed.
No, I got you. That shit's uncomfortable. And a person spewing all that venom thinks they're making the other person look bad, but everyone's just
making you look batshit crazy.
Crazy.
To that exact point, Gabrielle Union made that point when she hired AJ. I forgot the lady's name, but Tyrese's mother from Baby Boy.
Yeah.
She was her personal trainer and life coach.
Oh.
And she was talking to her, and she was talking about some chick that came in, and Gabrielle Union was like, I just started throwing salt at this chick and talking about trying to get the attention back on me.
Her.
And I was throwing dirt on her name, and AJ let her say whatever the hell she had to say. And she was like, I want to ask you one question. Did you just get richer? Did you gain anything from that?
Exactly.
What was the whole point of you tearing down that other woman? What did you gain from it?
Exactly.
And she was like, "That you just showed how everybody insecure. You just showed everybody how insecure you really are." And that was a changing point for her. Like, damn, all these years, I've been competing and throwing salt, and I've been the mean girl for all these years, and I got nothing from it. I just showed everybody that I really ain't shit.
But that also, like, and that's one of the things. When she said that, I was like, absolutely. But then her and Jada were like, you know, the people that we had around us at that time were also fueling this.
Yeah.
So it goes back to this whole issue with be really fucking careful about the company you keep.
Yep.
We have a very, very recent example of that with fucking Kevin Hart. And that shit is so unfortunate. Fuck that nigga still.
Well, how you got set up, bro?
I got set up, yeah.
He still fucked up because he didn't fall into no pussy. But anyway, right. You still gotta be.
You still have to put your dick in it.
Thank you.
The company that you keep set you the fuck up, bro.
No one held a gun to your fucking head and told you to fuck us. So anyway,
I feel like
you still gotta be real careful about the company.
Here we go. Mini Fro dude needs to catch a fade. Like,
can I add on to that, Vonna? Because you said be careful of the company you keep.
Yes.
Here's the crazy thing. You're not gonna know who a person is right off the bat.
Oh no!
Right?
Listen,
no.
Sometimes it takes a long time.
No.
Right.
No. Yeah, you know, if a person shows you, what's that saying? If a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them, right?
Right.
But the problem is, a lot of people right now, if you're listening to this, you need to understand and think like who your friends are, how you know them to be, and can you change with them? Because if you can't change with them, or if you can't help them better themselves in certain situations, and vice versa, why are they around?
Right.
Because then you're going to be feeding a toxic situation, not going anywhere.
I've definitely left a lot of people in the dust as far as that goes because they didn't approve of my relationship with Highbridge. And it wasn't because he was going to be mean to me. It wasn't because they saw him as a user. It was because he was genuinely making me happy, and people were very jealous of that. And a few people were in my family. So I've had to like really check people. And I'm like, it's funny because you have a lot to say about this relationship, but when I was in a relationship prior to this and I was very unhappy, it was like, oh, it's okay. But I'm also a very private person, so it wasn't like I was telling a lot of people my business and my relationships. As a female, I know better because I've seen people throw that back into people's faces like, oh, well, you say he did this and this and that. Why are you still with that nigga? And I can even attest to that too, because as a person that listens to other friends go through shit, I'll be like, well, if it was my black ass, I wouldn't be in this situation right now. It's a very weird situation to be in, but it's interesting because you have people that are literal like leeches, and they're only there to suck the life out of you. And when it's positive, if you can't have someone around you that's down for shit, like when you're at your lowest low and like literally talk life back into you, you can't. It's not a real friendship to me. It isn't.
You know what's one of the worst things about growing up in the hood? How positivity is a sign of weakness.
It is. Yeah.
Because what you just
why are you so happy?
Basically, yes.
Why are you so happy?
Look at this nigga walking down a block smiling.
We literally make fun of people who are happy and living life well. Like you see somebody smile, the first thing you're just like, why are you so happy?
Soft.
Right. And
soft. No, but that shit, you know how that shit manifests yourself later once you start to progress?
Right.
When you talk of success, you speak about it with such fear that you fear like,
because
if I
you don't know
that I'm doing something well, somebody gonna try to rob me.
This is true.
Somebody gonna throw dirt on us, and I'm like,
and shade you. Mm-hmm.
Listen, let me tell you something. White people in the burbs do not think about this shit. Nah. Like if they want to be happy-go-lucky, and someone make fun of them, they don't give a fuck. They're still happy-go-lucky. Versus we're literally concerned like, nah, you can't think I'm too happy-go-lucky. Fuck that. Like,
that's definitely something I've worried about with like my brothers.
It manifests itself in relationships and careers and your personal life, and like your mental health. Like Jesus, that shit's annoying.
But that's why I like.
I struggle with that too sometimes. Like I'm like something's good's happening. I'll tell Mayhem, and then somebody else will ask me the same question. I'll be like, I don't know if I want to tell you. Like,
I can't give you the real answer.
But you know what? Even though it's a fucked up situation to have to like really edit yourself real quick, the fact that you have at least one person that you can share everything with is a blessing. Because not a lot of people don't have that. Like family members will be super fucking negative about some shit. So, like I've seen it and I'll be like,
family I have a real beef with, so I understand
me
that.
too. That's what I'm saying. Like I got family members like I don't even feel like fucking talking to you about some shit because I'm in a really good fucking place. But I've had to learn how to honestly be happy and just be quiet with certain people.
Oh.
Because the minute they fucking smell that your ass is about to be glad about some shit, here they go. Oh well.
You know.
Let me
quote the philosopher Styles P, who once said, blood thicker than water only in certain cases. You need water to live. You learned that in the basics. I was like, thank you, Styles. True.
Yep.
I just want to add on to that because this is something I've actually been going through in my life. I'm not going to say what it is, but it was a post that had me like, yep, this is true. It goes, I hate when people say he's still your dad or she's still your aunt. Just because someone is your family doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life if they're toxic or abusive. Blood means nothing sometimes. Don't let people guilt you into being in contact with someone who isn't good for your physical or mental health. Don't make yourself go through that much pain, please.
Yes.
Take that with you, people. Straight up.
As we
Facts.
move on to the next topic.
Kim Kardashian and prison reform.
This bitch. Let me explain something to you.
Kim Kardashian West is freeing the Negroes. Oh my God. I just before we start into this conversation, let's just back up for a second. This week were California primaries, right? They're very important because, determining not only, what Democrats are going to face each other, but what types of Democrats and Republicans are going to face each other, right? Mm-hmm. And particularly, it has implications potentially for taking Congress back, but that's not important. One of the things that happened in the California primaries is that they recalled a judge. That's one of the first times it's happened in 71 years.
With the rape
it was
case.
The judge that sentenced Brock Turner to like a couple days probation.
Because he suffered enough. After
Yeah.
he raped an unconscious fucking college student behind a dumpster.
The reason I bring that case up is this woman that Kim Kardashian helped free, is Alice Marie Johnson. Is it Jones? It's Alice Marie. I know that's definitely her first two names. She got convicted of a drug offense. She did it.
Non-violent drug offense.
No, just for the record. I want to say this out clearly because people keep doing this weird thing where you have to be perfect in order to get forgiveness.
Right.
That's not how forgiveness works. She was a drug dealer.
Right.
She did the crime.
Right.
She got caught doing it. No one is disputing that. But she got a life sentence on a first offense.
Right.
And that's the extremes that we find.
And for her to get free, it took literally one of the most famous women on the planet happening across her story on social media, deciding to get involved, using her celebrity to go talk to the president. When the rapist got free because his pops wrote a letter. That was it.
Right.
And he did that crime too. No one doubted it. The victim didn't support the decision.
Evidence.
There was evidence. The cops are like, lock him up. And he still went home. Son, like, if we living in a world where we need Kim Kardashian to free Negroes to get real justice before, we are fucked. Right. It's not even a shot at Kim. I'm being dead serious. There's not enough Kim K's considering how many people are locked up. Just dead ass. There's not enough of them. So, as dope as it is for Alice Marie and her family, because at the end of the day, she's home.
Right.
The fact that it needed this in the first place, I couldn't convince politicians, this is an unreasonable sentence. Even after the woman had served 21 years, people are still like, nah, she should stay in prison. I'm like, what the fuck? She's not a danger to the community.
It wasn't the first time she went in.
So I'm like, I don't know, that story, that's just on the back end that just blew my whole shit. It literally took one of the most famous people in the world on a whim to do this, to get you your freedom. And by the way, anyone that's I need to give credit to Donald Trump, fuck that nigga, okay?
Yeah,
he literally making the system more racist as we speak. If this is the same guy dragging kids out of their parents' arms at the border, he can eat a bag of dicks. Exactly. I give him credit
this
for
motherfucker
shit. Fuck out of here.
From Stormy Daniels is pay for play, right? So Since he got that 10% extra from Kanye, you think that wasn't a favor to Kanye to get that chick free?
Exactly.
He actually said that thanks to Kim Kardashian, his approval rating amongst the blacks is going up. I'm like,
now, what
you think Kim K is winning you black support? Do you know black people?
Only the ones he sees on Fox.
Oh, God. Yeah, Candace Owens is probably like, yo, me and my uncle love you with the rest of the family. They don't talk to us, but me and my uncle love you.
That shit is,
Oh,
when
my
I saw
God.
that, I was so annoyed. I'm like, this is a very positive thing coming out of a clusterfuck of a situation. And it fucking annoys me, the fact that it takes someone with absolutely zero fucking political knowledge, jargon, like, you don't know. Do you know where you have to vote?
Do you know who's the president?
No, listen,
They spoke the same language.
You're right.
Facts. Reality
They
TV.
spoke gibberish to each other. Absolutely. But like, it just annoys me. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I can't.
Oh, the fact that dumbass said he can pardon himself.
Yeah, I was like,
I got bad news for you guys. He may not be wrong.
here we go.
Technicality.
No, here's why. Here's why he may not be wrong. Because people are going to have a debate about whether the Constitution gives him the power to pardon himself. Mm-hmm. I'm not having that debate. That debate's pointless to me. I've been saying since he's been elected, laws are only as powerful as those who enforce it.
Yep.
My question isn't whether the Constitution gives him the power to pardon himself. My question is, who's going to stop him?
Exactly.
If no one comes to mind, you've got your answer. Like, you've got your answer. Like, if no one comes to mind, you've got your answer. I don't think he'll get to that point, by the way. He'll strike a deal. The same way how Nixon, who organized the burglary from the White House, ducked the case. Like, it's the same thing. Ain't nothing could come from this shit.
I can't.
But
On to the next. I want to talk about that.
let's go to some more positive stuff. The NFL.
This Daddy's on a roll. He just going uppercut for uppercut today.
The NFL came through in the clutch. And they were like, y'all Negroes can't kneel no more.
Before y'all go to fucking camp and fucking work out for this preseason, you let your asses know you can't fucking kneel or you're gonna get booted from the game. Or
No
from the
more.
game or from the fucking team.
Fuck
But
you, Goodell.
we'll give you a compromise. This is what they're in their minds. This is what they thought.
Here we go.
You can stay inside during the anthem playing, and you won't get in trouble. So you could, just duck the anthem.
So you don't want the entire fucking. It's going to be a whole bunch of black people.
My best.
So so the whole team ain't gonna fucking show up, basically, except for the
Most
3-4
of the-
white boys that are corn fed, right?
Not
okay.
that many people were kneeling last season. I think people in their mind gave higher numbers. There's only 8 people
No. Right,
until
that
Trump
would
got
continue.
combative.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing: why you got to change a whole fucking rule for a handful of Negroes?
No. It's not for a handful of Negroes. It's for Donnie.
Yeah.
Donnie was threatening the league. There's literal evidence of conversations he had with, I think, Robert Kraft and another owner where he's basically like...
Kaepernick is...
he told him point blank, this kneeling shit wins a lot of support from my base. I'm going to keep getting you guys for this.
And that was one of my potential moments of joy for the end of the episode today. But shout out to Colin Kaepernick.
Because he's subpoenaing
his ass.
Yeah. We'll
Fuck
see if
you,
he
bruh.
testifies.
He ain't gonna testify in his own case. The fuck you think you gonna testify in that for? Like Giuliani came out and said he can't testify.
No, Giuliani came out and said he can't interfere with a criminal investigation. He is the law, basically. I'm like,
keep on giving that motherfucker his meds. Keep on giving him his meds because he just coming out.
Keep on giving him the mic.
That too.
I want Donald Trump to talk himself into a hole that he can't claw his way out of.
Giuliani out here talking himself in a
That's
hole.
what I'm saying. Give him the mic because he's over
could
here
you imagine
just
if he
letting
was your lawyer, you in the back, Your Honor, can you shut that nigga up?
Public defender level ass. The fuck.
I object to him.
Giuliani is about
Your fucking client stand up sustain, nigga. What the fuck?
Giuliani is about 2 to 3 more TV spots away from getting just murked. Like he's about to get disappeared. Like no one.
You gonna find his ass like they did do from the fucking CDC?
Oh, that's not nice, baby.
Listen, you say he could get murked. That's what happens. You just drown.
We mean
randomly.
that rhetorically. For the record, thank you.
Have you seen any show on ABC?
Oh,
I'm just saying. That's how they been taking niggas out for a while.
But anyway, the compromise was the players will hide in the tunnel. Not hide, but they're allowed to stay in the tunnel, right? And then Trump comes out basically the week of this. Oh no, stand for the flag. No hiding in the tunnels. I'm like, you niggas thought y'all thought he was your boy is gonna hold you down. He don't give a shit about y'all.
Nope. But you know what the funny thing about
Michael Jackson?
The funny shit about all this is, I wonder if that back and forth between them going on is just because it's a breach of contract in the first place.
What?
Because the NFL got paid by the government to help them with the recruiting tactics.
Yeah,
that was the whole thing. So all this shit was like, yo, he's kneeling. That's a breach of contract. You're supposed to be showing U.S. support because we paid you already.
No, it wasn't no breach of contract. There was no clauses in terms of that. It was just them literally trying. So the NFL has special privileges under United States labor laws. Like, for example, their monopoly when it comes to professional football. So if Trump really wanted to fuck with them, which he did, he actually asked the Department of Justice to start investigating them individually to see if he can like bring charges. Like he's dead ass using the power of his presidency for personal beefs. Like, oh, you would want to reel with me? I'll fuck your money up. That's exactly what he's doing. It's the same way he's trying to do with Jeff Bezos, who owns Washington
doing
Post.
business.
Isn't that
crazy?
But like, oh my god,
that's why he's trying to investigate. That's why he hates the Postal Service. He keeps using the Postal Service as like Amazon is abusing the Postal Service. No, they're not.
Like,
Amazon is like 33% of their customer base.
Exactly.
They love the Amazon, but if you destroy the Postal Service, you hurt Amazon.
Right. And
Amazon is owned by Bezos, who hosts the Washington Post, who hates Trump. So he doesn't give a shit. Here's what's going to happen as a result of this case. Not a damn thing. Just FYI. If you think kneeling was the only way you could protest the national anthem, do y'all forget the Olympics in LA back in the day with the Black Power fist?
Exactly.
Y'all about to see a whole lot of that. So, fuck you.
Cue David Banner, pump your black fist.
Oh, okay.
And you know what's funny about this, too? This has put, like, the black Republicans in the NFL, which there are a lot of, by the way, FYI.
In a hot
They're
seat.
in the weirdest position because they're like, I'm all for Donnie, but I don't like you tell me what to do.
We gonna call that group Tax Breaks Anonymous.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
They'll never admit to that shit, but they tax bracket speak for them.
But yeah, shout out to Colin Kaepernick and now Eric Reed. That's why this case is important, because the NFL has some monopoly privileges. That's why the federal government can get involved. And the collusion case to keep Kaepernick out of the league, he's going to win that.
Of course.
They're not going to let him back in the league, but that check will be.
Yeah.
I want him
He gonna be Hall of Fame. He gonna be Hall of Fame for whipping that ass.
I want him to get enough money to own his own team.
Okay, they ain't gonna have him a check that big.
No. But he has another people. He has a whole bunch of people that will be interested in going in with a. That could happen between him and a few other black millionaires. That needs to happen.
FYI. The way NFL owners get chosen is by the other owners.
Yeah.
So the chance of an ownership group with Kaepernick getting into the league.
Listen, they don't gotta know.
It's not impossible.
They don't know. He don't gotta know. He could be a silent partner.
Nah, you have to declare everybody.
Shut up. Let me live my life.
Ain't no secret owners here.
I want him to hop out on the day that they sign the check. Ha, bitch! But you can keep me out.
Like Clayton Bigsby?
I want that to happen.
Boogity.
I need that to happen. In my lifetime, I need that to happen. Because I will bust a damn groove real quick.
Okay, I want to do some lighthearted stuff for real before we go to another serious topic. So Drake was in blackface.
First of all right,
You gotta give the backstory to that before.
Do we?
I feel like everybody knows.
Wait, no.
Don't
We
assume.
have to give her the backstory because she
Nigga,
wanted no
wait a
parts of
minute.
the rap beef.
First of all, sir.
I need the receipts.
Sir.
I tried to play her the beef, and she didn't want no parts.
No, because y'all niggas talked about it all the time in the fucking group
That does
chat.
not give you
I didn't need
airtime.
That's I'm not that fucking pressed. Anyway, rap beef horror happened between fucking Pusha and Drake, and then niggas started popping out with receipts. Pusha T went the fuck in on his last fucking on his last rap and just was being all kind of discreditable to Drake.
You ever seen like one of those fight videos where somebody getting their ass beat on a playground? The adult got to be like, all right.
Exactly. That's enough.
That was Jay Prince.
Yeah.
You need some milk.
That shit went left real quick.
So the blackface photo. Okay, before I even talk about the photo itself, I was really curious about everyone's reaction to the photo because with or without context, that's a wild photo. Like
it is.
Like with or without context,
Automatic explanation necessary.
Yes, which he did.
But the way people reacted made me realize, like, oh shit, y'all don't really view him as black.
Yep.
Like I was like, that's the moment I realized that Black Twitter doesn't really view him as black. I'm like, when it comes to biracial rappers, you're putting Drake with Logic as opposed to J. Cole because the way they black people doing blackface can still be offensive.
Yes,
but it's not the same historical context as a white person. When I was reading the Twitter stream reaction, I was like, y'all are reacting as if this is an Eminem in blackface picture, and I find that super weird. Like, I'm not saying you can't be offended, but like the way you're offended,
he's fucking black.
This is a black kid doing some shit he needs to explain. This isn't Tommy from Home Ec. Just all of a sudden, I'm gonna be deep, blackface, Jim Crow shirt, like
exactly.
But the reaction was just like, oh shit, they don't really think this nigga black,
right?
That was a Degrassi Drake, though. Yeah. That was before he got his black card. I think that's why I needed explanation. It was like,
First of all, hold on. His father left him, okay, when he was young. Oh. How does he not have a black card?
Listen, first of all,
I don't want that.
I'm sorry.
Black card of this shit.
I'm sorry, but come on.
Yo, when that shit was taken, that was Wheelchair Jimmy. That wasn't Drake. That was not Drake. So it was like, all right, you hanging out with Degrassi niggas, you in Canada. We don't know that you have black friends right now.
To be fair, Chris.
To
be hybrid.
Wheelchair Jimmy. That nigga in the glasses popped him.
Wait. But who popped him? Was it a white boy?
Yeah, that white boy.
So that's Canadian beef. That doesn't really count. Like, you just got to slice some shit that y'all make up.
Hybrid.
Bro, stop it.
Hybrid. He was rapping since then, you know.
No one cared.
But it doesn't matter. He was still Drake then. He was still Drake then.
You didn't have your back then, bro.
I used to watch Degrassi, and I remember they used to do like profiles of the actors. Yep. And I remember as a teenager they did an episode with him rapping. I remember as a kid watching this going, this nigga trash.
Again, not certified.
And then years later I heard him on the radio. I'm like, wait, that's the same dude?
Do right to kill everything.
Shout out to your growth, Aubrey.
Listen, your man came down south and caught a tan.
That Pusha T, the blackface thing, whoa, that was a lot.
First of all, the fact, like, I'm not gonna lie, the level of petty that Pusha went to was like very
this is not petty. This is
petty.
No, that was petty. That was petty.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Gucci Man told Jeezy, go dig up your dead homie that he murdered.
That's petty.
That's petty.
That's petty.
Is it though? Because you sent that nigga Adam.
No, that's still petty.
That's petty.
Listen, if I'm telling some dude go dig up your dead homie, okay, fuck this rap song shit.
See, there's a level. Honestly, it's funny because different, like for females, there's certain lines that you don't cross.
Yeah.
For us, it's like, okay, don't talk about, if we have kids, don't talk about our kids.
Right.
Or don't talk about our parents. Other than that,
or spouses.
And that's
free
even,
smoke.
It's free smoke after that. With men, y'all gotta really be like, oh, I'm about to talk about your great grandmother that passed away from AIDS in 1954. I'll be like, wait a minute, where did that come from?
Hold on. I would step in real quick. I will agree that men and women talk differently to each other all the time because some of the stuff y'all say to each other, I can't say to hybrids because hybrids we want to square up. Be like, yo, take off your headphones.
Because y'all can have like emotional
take off your headphones.
We know there's physical ramifications at some point. Like, all right,
hybrids would be like, take off your headphones, meet me in the hallway. I'd be like, all right, you gotta do what you gotta do. So
I said it. Gotta back it up now. Goddamn.
You know what I'm saying? Right. That aside, Push's response wasn't because, first of all, okay, let's look at the photo itself. It wasn't hidden. It's a public photo. It wasn't something like he had to go through his grandma to find out.
I know,
it just wasn't well known.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
boom.
Did y'all seen that shit before? No one saw that shit
but that's
before.
the thing, though. Like, I feel like in the spirit of hip hop, it being a competition of verbal gladiator shit, on an everyday basis on any street corner, if you get popped by a random nigga for some shit you had nothing to do with, the person that shot you is a murderer. If you go into an arena with the intent to kill somebody and you got armor and a weapon, you're a gladiator. They're in hip hop. So this is some gladiator shit. Nothing's off limits until you cross a barrier. Once he mentioned, all he had to do was say his fiance's name.
Yeah, that was crazy.
She had nothing to do with this. We were talking about lyrical prowess and your man, who's also a rapper that I also had prior beef with. So all this stuff is in the same arena. You said some shit that had nothing to do with what I was saying.
That's the thing.
Now
it's always
all the
one
gloves
up.
are off.
It's always a
Facts.
one up.
Gladiator.
But it's still
Drake wasn't ready for that one.
But even still,
like,
to be fair, it still wasn't petty because yet again, look like you talk about his baby moms. I didn't know about it so much, but it was public knowledge.
You talking about females? Let's talk about females because Drake outs himself in every album that he puts out with females.
He sure does.
So why I can't talk about your baby moms and the kid that you hiding?
I didn't say that it was off limits. I said that was petty.
That's
not petty though.
Petty means that it's off limits. That you
No,
got a belt
even
somewhere.
though
I
I
would've
can't
said off
criticize
limits.
Pusha for the 40 shot, that's another square up moment in this bar. Like, fuck this rap shit.
He testing his level of light skin, bro.
Oh, shit.
He said, "You out here doing pull-ups and push-ups, nigga. Where your hands at? Like, you want to come see me? I ain't got nothing to hide." But Jay Prince stepped in and stopped the rebuttal.
Who you think would have won a physical fight?
Drake,
Between
probably.
Pusha and Drake? I would say Drake.
Drake will probably manhandle him.
Listen, people are surprised, right? Here's why.
Pusha's 40-something years old.
No, that's not why.
Oh, okay.
I think Pusha's from a world of if I have beef, somebody getting shot.
Yeah.
Right.
While Drake been trained to punch somebody his whole life.
He been
I've been waiting for one of you
he been
niggas
waiting for somebody.
All my life I had to fight.
All his life he been training to fight. Right. He ain't never really got tested.
As far as we know, beforehand. But I'm just saying.
That shit would have ended up on
Worlds.
Drake is from the MySpace era. Had Drake been
check me.
Chris is out here calling Drake Tom from MySpace.
Listen, son, Drake is from the MySpace era. That's where niggas found him. So, if Drake's card got pulled at any point, you saw the receipts pop up when Diddy slapped the shit out of him.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
So it would have ended up somewhere. Somebody pulled this card for real. Because the few times that it did happen, or the one time that it did happen that we do know of, niggas found out about it ASAP.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's the top nigga in the game now? Or he wanted up and coming? Free smoke.
Right.
Like, before he put the record out, that shit was coming to face. So
Pusha would win the fight, but in a face-to-face,
Drake would win the fight.
When the physically, that's what I'm saying. Pusha would win because shoot, bang, bang.
Right.
But if Drake got close, show him the handwork.
Yeah, if he just so happened, if she just
I don't think Pusha been in a fist fight since '99. Probably just like he just forget like he don't have the moves no more. Just try to whoop.
Me too. Everybody meet Mr. Me Too.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Drake want free smoke. What happened to that boy? That's the whole rap. That's the whole. Listen, that's how it's going down.
I'm a little disappointed that we're never going to hear a Drake response.
Lil Wayne responded,
but Lil Wayne going to respond either.
He did. Ghoulish. It's YouTube.
Oh, that was years ago.
But what if, right?
He responded recently.
What if Wayne takes the song and features Drake on it? Or let's not even to put Drake near the record and just Wayne takes it. And then he comes out later and tells us it was really Drake's record
Here's why. Because Jay Prince put his name out there. You know that nigga's serious about his name.
You're right about that.
He don't play that game.
You ain't messing up my check.
You see, Tekashi ain't been back to Houston since.
Did you? Okay. Do you know who Jay Prince is?
I have not a fucking clue who that is.
So he has a book called Respect, which I actually want to read.
You want to read that book?
Right now, waiting for that shit to get
No. Listen. There are dudes that come into this rap game talking a bunch of crazy shit, and then there's dudes that like Jay Prince that have never said shit, and it doesn't need to be said. Like
real G's move.
I'll give you an example. Do you know who Larry Hoover is?
Yes.
Larry Hoover respected Jay Prince.
Yeah, Highbridge legend Larry Hoover.
Larry Hoover saw eye to eye with Jay Prince. No, he was one of the ones.
He's the Southern plug. Like all that shit down there is his.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So there's a funny. Actually, I want to do a little side note. So there's a comedian. His name is Roy Wood Jr. And after Jay Prince stepped in to end the beef with Drake and Pusha, he told a story of his Jay Prince story. So Roy Wood is from Alabama. He was doing Houston radio one year. They had just hired him to do prank calls. And he's just like, I prank called anyone. I don't give a fuck. Oh. And so the radio station gave him a Rolodex of a bunch of like really famous people and would just pull out a number at random. So one of the numbers at random that came out was Jay Prince. Oh, so Roy Wood prank calls Jay Prince back in the day on his fucking car phone. Shit. And Jay Prince was not amused. Like he said, he answered the phone too calmly to begin with. It's just like, he never raised his voice. He never got excited. He just like, I started doing my prank call thing, like just really annoying him, to be honest. And then he's just like, yo, who's this? And then he's just like, the way he said it just sent a chill down my spine. Like,
I'm about to find you.
Like, why he said it so calm? And then he just kept going. And then you see the people in the station just like, all right, no, this is no one fucking. And then he tries to explain, like, okay, this is a prank call. He's just like, who is this? What is your name?
Like,
and then he just didn't want to say anything. And then he said, we're at the blah, blah, blah radio station. And he said, this is from blah, blah, blah radio. He said, oh, you're Jamie's boy. I'll be there. Stay there. And then he said, I heard the car. I heard him in the background. Turn the car around. And he said, I swear to God, I hung up the phone. I got up. And I walked out and got on the flight and went back to Alabama. He said I was in Houston for 4 hours. I was not waiting for him to come back. He said I had a contract. Smart. I had agreed to do this multiple times. He said, I don't give a fuck. Sue me. I'm not coming back.
That's crazy.
Fucking with a real one.
That's crazy.
So every time I go to Houston, I'm a little paranoid now. I wonder if he still remembers this shit.
Of course he remembers that shit.
He's like, oh, you were that motherfucker.
He feel like cashing that check.
No, but like, so funny.
Like he's going on his press run right now talking about his book. And like all the OGs in the rap game, they come to see him. And like T.I. and Killer Mike's ass was sitting out there. And T.I. especially was like, yo, I don't have a question, because they were doing like a little question and answer section. And he was like, I don't have any questions for you. I just want to let you know that what you did paved the way for me to come and even have a possibility of thought to get out what I was doing before and to take this shit. And he was like, to this day, from the game that you gave me and Baby gave me and Slim gave me and you were their mentor, I own my masters now, right. Like all this other business stuff, because people were just coming to the rap game getting raped.
Yep.
And then this dude came in and he went from a drug dealer to legitimate shit, still had the same respect and loyalty from the people that he was fucking with, had people owning all their rights, had people owning all of their stuff to actually get to the money, and then he went and took that shit to boxing, which my motherfuckers don't play none of that. And he came in with his respect.
He learned a lesson quick.
Your hands don't go faster than bullets, bro.
My favorite response when Roy Jones tried to drop him as a manager without doing it respectfully. And he's like, Jay Prince wants his money. How much? $600,000. So his new manager, the white guy, was just like, okay, that's fine. Does he take credit? Roy, he don't do credit, man. He wants his money now.
If you ain't got $600,000 on you,
not Roy. Sorry, I keep saying Roy. It's Floyd, baby.
Yeah, no. I knew who you was talking about. My bad, I ain't correct you. It's like, nah. You gotta have that like on you. I think that honestly, that interaction, I think is why Roy always walks around with $1 million in a book bag. Floyd. He walks around with that $1 million in his book bag on stat, just in case some shit ever gotta happen. He be like, look, take this book bag. We gonna act like this shit never happened.
I'm fucking done.
Even though it's just unrelated, I still salute T.I. for swinging though. You swung on Floyd? All right, I respect that.
They the same height. Fuck that. 5'9" with the soul of a 6'4" nigga.
All the time. He was
life quote.
Oh gosh.
All right. Too much. Are we gonna talk about this fool ass?
Who? Diane Black?
Yeah.
I didn't. I saw her comments and I kept going. Anyone care to expound?
Diane Black believes that it's because of porn that the shootings are happening all over.
No, not just porn. The accessibility of porn.
Did she give like a...
She said because you can go into a grocery store, look up and get a pornography something.
Listen.
She was.
Listen. She's not blame. It's not the accessibility of porn. Although she honestly,
she mentioned it.
She's saying porn. Like, bro, you can get porn. Let me tell you, you can get the resources you can porn. You get porn from CDs, DVDs, tapes. If you watch a VCR, your phone, internet. You know what I'm saying? Way back when I was a kid, they had that shit in the back or in the front where the cashier can watch you, so you can't steal it. Yeah. You understand? Oh, let's talk about the actual houses. There are burlesque, not just strippers, but actual burlesque where you can go in and get hand jobs and shit like that. Like, this woman is out of her fucking...
But okay.
I know, I'm just saying.
What?
I'm sorry. Burlesque, sex shop, not an actual shop that sells toys. Porn stars. Strippers.
Why did that tickle you so?
She's a fan of the burlesque.
Nah, it's because my boy Mike just gave inventory. Just let me tell you.
Cue the videotape.
I understand.
Fucking cat houses down south. Like actual, I don't want to say horse houses, but like prostitutes and shit. Come on.
I mean, you're tripping, because if you think that shit's going to go the way of prohibition, you're lost.
First of all, if anything, the accessibility of porn should calm a dude down.
That's
Real
what
talk.
I thought. That's the first thing I thought. I was like...
Because I've never busted a nut and been like, I got to shoot somebody up.
I feel there's some shit happening in your life if that's like what happens. It's like...
If that's your reaction afterwards?
Man, I go murder these niggas.
You know what I'm saying?
Actually, you know what's crazy? It's actually the inverse of it's like because men or young boys don't have an outlet for that testosterone is the reason why they do most of these things. They will, and the crazy part is our fucking society will never fess up to that because they have so many. There's probably, if you did clinical like studies on the men that are doing these shootings, I'm almost certain they're not active in sports, which is a really good way to relieve testosterone. They probably don't have siblings. Have you noticed that? Most of them don't have siblings, so they don't have another person to interact with or play with, which is another way to release testosterone. Most of them don't have father figures or they're absent. Like, there's a fucking trend in this. Besides them being white, there's a really noticeable trend in most of these school shootings.
Personally, I feel the way we solve this is just profile white males.
Right,
it works to black dudes in the hood apparently, so why would we just profile white males in the suburbs? Like,
I fucking agree.
You know, right? Turnabout's fair play, huh?
Right.
Stop and frisk on white males?
Right.
You know how much money the states and cities would get? What?
You know how many drugs they'd find?
Yo.
Holy shit.
That's if they want to find drugs. If that was the point.
Oh, man. We're going to go into some lighthearted stuff. Shout out to that alligator out of Florida that was knocking niggas out.
He's invited to the cookout.
Living up to the name.
He's some head busters.
We'll knock a nigga out. He's some head busters. Wait, Nuck, if you buck. If you buck.
So if y'all didn't know, the alligators in Florida are pretty common. One was spotted in this Florida neighborhood. Animal control came. They tied it up. They duct taped its mouth.
Yeah.
They had the feet restrained.
And
then they were loading it onto the truck. And that alligator said, I ain't going out like no hoe. And that gator, because I had to watch a video more than once, because I just saw the guy knocked out on the floor. I didn't even see the beginning. And that gator, my son caught him with the mean right jaw. I never seen that. He hit him. And then his boy in the back thought he had ducked it, hit him with the tail.
Wow. Yep. So the crazy thing is, because I watch a lot of animal shows, and that's one of the things that they, getting all these exotic animals and all this other stuff. You're supposed to tie that gator out. I don't know how they do it, but you got to tire it out because it's a reptile. It uses energy. It's got to bask in the sun to replenish energy. I guess they didn't get that memo because when they lifted him into the truck, he realized what that truck was, and then tail whipped everybody.
Last time I saw my cousin, He was getting put in the back of a pickup. We never saw his ass in the swamp again.
Yo, free him till they free him. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And the crazy thing is,
He ain't do it.
these alligators ain't small. Like, these alligators are about like 7-8 foot laying down, and they're heavy. They're like 300, 400 pounds.
Yeah, these shits ain't.
Nah,
No, I'm good.
that guy was slumped. He was
I'd have just
slumped.
left the fucking trail of chicken. Just like, oh, come on, nigga, let's get you back to the
Listen,
swamp.
that
Like, I'm
video
not
is
picking you
one
the fuck
of the
up.
many reasons I
And
can
they
never
did this
live
shit
in
with duct
Florida.
tape, not zip ties. What the fuck was you thinking?
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to alligator's mouth, it is the strongest bite force
Yes.
in the animal
Their
kingdom.
jaw, yeah.
I think.
duct tape, though?
I think a mammal. I think the jaguar is the closest. Whatever, some cat related. Anyway, but that's closing down. No, the shark is closing down. They can't open it. So opening is weak sauce. Like a
That's
kid.
why I said, why would you do duct tape?
Because it can't open its mouth. Like
Yes.
the Discovery Channel actually had a kid hold the alligator's mouth shut.
I'm good.
Like, of course, this kid was white. But anyway, the alligator, it can't open its mouth. That's why it wiggles.
Yeah. That was
That
they
shit
did
was
not set them up for success.
Fucking Wally Gator. That's who they was fighting. Fucking Wally Gator.
I can't.
With the hat, yo.
They caught him off guard. My man was out there slipping. He thought he was in retirement. He was like,
Yo, isn't that the same voice actor for Pink Panther? And somebody else?
I'm done.
exit stage left.
Snaggle.
There you go. You know what I'm talking about.
Puss. Wow.
Out there. He was like, oh, you thought I was slipping? Not today, bitch. Bam.
Oh, man.
That's where they got the name Gatorade from. You don't need something after you see that motherfucker.
Yo. As I said before, free that gator. He ain't do it. They profiled him. Anywho. We're going to move on to another actually positive story. Mamadou Gassama. Did I say it?
Yeah. Gassama.
Gassama. He was an immigrant in... Because this story pissed me off, actually.
Yeah, I can see that.
Why is that?
Because people were like, oh, this is all heartwarming, right? And I'm like...
How about...
this guy literally had to perform a superhuman feat to get French citizenship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If he hadn't saved that baby, he's not worthy.
He got deported.
I'm like,
Yep.
wow.
Yep.
Like, him being a human
And a job
being.
as a firefighter. Don't forget that.
Yeah, and a job.
I'm like, sometimes I see these stories, I'm like, I know I'm supposed to be positive, but this shit just pissed me off.
But it's because it pisses us off because it's like, why I gotta do the most in order to get something that people were born into, or just like on a fucking silver platter. Here you go. It's like, I'm human too.
Especially when it was like Emmanuel Macron, who I watched a lot of France 24 news, and like, you don't fucking like immigrants
He
or
doesn't.
migrants.
He
So
doesn't.
for him to be the guy like, you did a great service, I'll
Like,
fast
I know
track
you
your
don't like
citizenship.
me.
I'm like, fuck out of here. Like,
I agree.
like, he's not like the worst when it comes to that stuff, but he's definitely not a
He's not
like
a supporter.
Yeah, he's not an ally. But it was a dope story. Watching that video, I was just like, man, my core strength is horrendous. If he would have been like, yo, can you help? No.
He would have been down on the floor looking, yo, how are we going to catch him? I'm not going up there.
And he did it so like without,
Effortlessly, yeah.
The
thinking.
thing that bugged me out, bro, I was wondering when I watched the video, because I watched it like 20 times in a row, just to see, like, it was seamless. What the fuck were you doing back in your home country that had you trained like that, bro?
getting mangoes and coconuts and shit. Like,
Is that part of his native agriculture?
Where's he
I
from?
don't
Where's
know.
he from?
They don't say where. It said Africa.
was-
Nah, they said where he was from. I think he was from Mali.
Oh.
Yeah, Mali's tropical.
No. Molly's
That's
what I'm saying.
He's climbing some shit.
Bro, what the fuck was he climbing?
Okay,
What
so
was he doing? Was he part of that fucking acrobatic team that be climbing up the side of pyramids
Let
and
me
shit?
tell you
And he was that dude
how I
that
catch-
does
There
There's
tricks
some
and shit?
tropical parts.
Probably.
of
Thank
it.
you.
The majority of the country is desert.
But I knew
there's
this.
some tropical
Listen,
parts.
he could have been a coconut getter. You don't know.
I don't know, son.
So-
But like most
You know what he
places-
was doing back in Mali? Escaping poverty. He's like, I'm training for the day when I get my shot. I'm out this
hiking
bitch.
on fences. It's like I seen the movies.
He's like, y'all
Just in
know
case
what
I have
took
to run,
get
I gotta
here
be
to
agile.
avoid like modern day slavery. Fuck out of here. Y'all ain't sending me back. Fuck out of here.
The fastest one in his family.
Also, I just want to shout out that guy that was on the balcony where the baby was hanging from. I don't know how that baby ended up there, but whatever.
The pops wasn't there.
Yeah?
Yeah, the parent wasn't there. He was at work.
So that's the kid in the house. Wow.
So the kid was there by themselves.
So the kid, okay. So the father ain't shit.
That's the ACS case. Right?
Yep.
100%.
And the guy that was standing at on the balcony, the same balcony, just looking, you ain't shit either, because you could have just hopped over and just grabbed the kid one time.
That shit is high, bro.
Nah, bro. Let me tell you something.
Some people are paranoid
of heights.
No, not even
scared.
Paralyzed.
And
like moments like
it's
that,
a fight or flight situation.
Fear. It's fight or flight.
It's fight or flight.
It's two choices.
I'm sorry.
Some people see that and be like, that's it.
I feel like when it comes to a kid, you need to fucking check the fuck in, because it's a fucking kid. Like if you die,
but that's because you love children.
Yeah.
What about people that don't like kids? They see him as another human.
No, fuck that.
You know what, nigga? You knew what you was doing.
Yo, natural selection on your ass.
You made a choice.
Yo, y'all are horrible, son. Y'all are horrible.
Yo, it's real talk, though.
Yo,
it's real talk, though.
Although I'm confident in my abilities to climb, if I was that dude, I would have reached over. You could have grabbed the belt, put that over you, grabbed another belt, and, there's other things you could do. Because, listen, the guy did it in 30 seconds. I watched that video, in 30 seconds. You could have done something, bro.
That's a tree, son. That's what that was. Then he climbed that shit like a tree.
That's why I said he probably did that shit in Mali.
But that's
a thing.
I don't know.
Either way, I feel like it's I don't know.
He's just gonna go down in history. Fuck it, what is it? The Spider-Man of Paris?
Yeah, they call him the Spider-Man of Paris.
How you get a job, citizenship, and a cool ass name on 30 seconds?
Well, that's good. That means it was
your best life.
Right. That was well afforded to him, because he did something he didn't have to do. The nigga that was just sitting there ain't shit. And the parents ain't shit either, so...
I'll be bringing his whole family up.
That whole wife needs to be sucking his
that's
dick
what I'm saying,
night.
You hear what he said? What? That's championship penis right there, bro.
I said the wife needs to be sucking his dick every damn night, because she just fucking saved your fucking kid. I'm sorry. And you know I don't be saying wild shit like that.
That's a whole pass for your ass.
That's a whole pass. You're like, okay, I'll see you later. I'm gonna go see Gasama. All right, baby, see you later. Brush your teeth afterwards. Okay. Like, you need to make that shit. He just saved your fucking kid. You need to get up on
Call me by my real name.
Do something about it.
Fireman.
Busted wide the fuck open for a nigga.
Oh my god! But it was a dope story though. Shout out to him and people like that in moments that rise to the occasion.
Seriously.
Because that was no easy feat, and it was also dangerous. Because if he hadn't made it,
if he would have slipped one time,
we'd all be like
he even admitted in the interview, like once he got up there and he realized what the hell he did, his heart was racing. He had to sit down.
Yeah,
because he was like, "Oh shit,
fight or flight!
What the fuck did I just do?"
That adrenaline kicked in,
and like he had tears running down his face. He was like, "Oh shit." I didn't think I was gonna do that. I just jumped up and then went into action. But once I stopped, it was like, all right.
I'm gonna just say this
shit is real.
It doesn't sound like I'm a hater. That sounds like great acting. Go ahead. You played your part and you got what you wanted, sir. You got what you wanted. If it's true, then I'm sorry, I'll take it back. But if not, great acting.
Shout out to my man Trip. This is my moment.
I will say this though. I'm gonna call it right now. But 10 years from now, when he tells this story, it's going to sound nothing like the video looked. He can be telling his kids, let me tell you, there was flames coming out this shit.
Men exaggerate
below. Boss said if I come in late today, you're fired. I have to make a choice, son.
Snagglepuss just exited stage left.
I saved 3 babies on the way to this building.
I carried them back on my back, down to the floor. I didn't go inside.
Y'all are stupid as hell.
Someone be like, Pops, I can see the fucking video, man.
I want to hear that story, though. I do.
Edited it out.
He's invited to the cookout. I want to hear that story.
It's racism. Photoshop my shit.
It's a government conspiracy. I want to give my props.
Ooh, okay. We're going to get into a little debate now. Because me and Mayhem actually had this debate a few days ago. There was it a video?
It was a video.
It was a video of a guy proposing to a woman on graduation day. And I forgot if she said yes or not.
She did say yes.
But the comment section was basically turned into a debate. And it was like, the complaint was he was in that moment taking her shine. And the commenter was like one of the tweets that started the whole debate was like, he's like, I'm tired of people doing this shit. When it's like, she worked her ass off. There should be her moment to shine, and you made it about you. And she's like, there's nothing wrong with like love. I'm not opposed to that. It's just like you didn't need to do it this moment. Mm-hmm. And it turns out into a back and forth debate. And I was just like, it was pretty interesting. I guess. I don't know. So what do y'all think?
I mean,
y'all niggas are wilding for that shit. No, seriously, y'all niggas are wilding straight up.
Why?
So here it is. You got this young woman. She's just achieved. We don't know what degree she gave her. She achieved, but let's say she got her master's that day, right? She got her master's that day, and it looked like she had been standing around posing. We all know that look. When you've been around all day standing for posing for pictures, you got that like, all right, let's just get this over with.
I want to sit down and eat.
Right, that part. Everybody wants to eat, but we got to be respectful, right? So at this point, he takes the time to make an announcement to everybody, the family all together, that she's been very supportive and she's been very ambitious and all this other stuff. He's hyping her up and like showing everybody who she really is, and then he proposes to her. And then in the comment section, it's like, because he proposed to her on her day, he took the shine away from her and made it about him. And I'm just like, how? How?
Yeah,
first of all, when people think about this day, they be like, oh yeah, so-and-so that got married on this day? Yeah. She got her degree for whatever, boom, boom, boom. And then she also got married. Like, nobody's going to forget that. Nobody's going to forget about what you did. It's not about him. It really isn't. And then a second thing, too, is, once again, I don't know the full story. They don't give us all that. But you don't know if this is the only time her full family members were going to be there. People forget that. Like, family sometimes fly in for just the ceremony, and they got to go back out for whatever reason. So he wanted to spread his love and propose to you. The problem is sometimes where it's like, we all have our faults. Men have our faults, and women have faults. But this is one of the women's faults where it's like, I want you to propose to me, and I want you to propose to me this way. You understand? If that's the case, there should have been a talk from before. If you didn't want me to propose to you on your graduation, you should have been like, hey, you know what? I don't want you to propose to me on my graduation.
How the fuck would I know you're going to propose to me?
Exactly.
No, but you're arguing against yourself.
Okay, like, how would you know? Because then you would think about it. Like, think about it. If you're in school, because I feel like women think about this more so than men. You want to think about all the times that you'd want to be proposed to. You would think, I don't want to be proposed to when I'm at my job. I don't want to be proposed to when I'm getting
I think
we're agree.
Like, this one doesn't bother me as much because
it shouldn't bother anybody at all. It's not like he's making it about him. It's about you.
When we had this argument, I remember what we could agree on was it's a case by case basis. If she wants this moment to be about her and her alone, that's literally okay.
How is that a message that you present to somebody?
Without sounding selfish and being okay.
But no, not even how about this isn't... Most men usually go off the fact that a proposal is a surprise. So, and honestly, like, up until... And I'm going to be very honest. Up until a nigga really gets down on their knees and has a ring, you don't know when the fuck it is. And some women spoil their surprise. A lot of women will dig for a receipt, dig for like their...
Oh yeah, they generally find their ring beforehand.
Right. To prepare themselves to be fly and prepare for the situation. But other women genuinely want it to be a surprise. So there's no way to preempt that. Because honestly, and me and Hybrid just had this discussion. He's always told me, like, don't give me any input on how you want to get proposed to because it's going to be my time. You see what I'm saying? He specifically has said that to me, and I'm like, okay, nigga, give me a ring. I don't care. You can do what we flying on a plane. I'm having a kid. I don't care. Just do the shit. I don't care. I don't really care because at the end of the day, I know it's from a place of love. In the instance with this, if she didn't have a problem with it, it's whatever. But this really isn't. She couldn't have had a problem with it up until the moment it was in her face because it's like, I thought this day was going to be about me, and
the
not
day
us.
is still
okay. No,
that's what you're saying. Okay.
Yes. Subtle. Like, it's because, I done did all this shit, bam, bam, bam. But then it's like, at the same time, you also have to take into account the people that did help you to get there. He might have been a very important piece in her getting that achievement.
Agreed.
And just as much as it's a celebration for her and her family, it's a celebration for him too.
Because he might, I mean, shit.
We don't know what he
might have been the one paying her way through college.
Facts.
Right.
Like, I know that I was like, I think I had posted this up like a minute ago, and I think Juice had definitely, he put like the sad face emoji on it. Like, someone had said, like, it sucks because the people that you sometimes really want to be at your graduation aren't the ones that show up, and the people that are there is like, I wish and I had that when I graduated from college, and it was very like upsetting for me. Once I got home, I was like, I really want to do that whole day over again, whole fucking weekend. If I could get the whole weekend back, I would totally do it, because the people that were there, some of them I feel like they weren't there for me, and I'm a very like selfless person. I show up for everyone fucking else, and this is the one day outside of I feel like my wedding day that I wanted niggas to be like, yeah, Devonna, do what you like, and I didn't get that, and that pissed me the fuck off.
And like that, I think one thing I don't mean to
go ahead.
I think like one thing that a lot of guys think about is like, what's the best case scenario that I could put a ring out?
Yeah,
in? Like
true.
It'll be in some grandiose fashion if you can possibly do that,
right?
Or something that a lot of people, there's got to be a accumulation of things happening that day, so everybody gets the case situation with Beyonce. I forget the song right now. Where he had Beyonce getting dressed and he picked out the dress and took her through the whole day.
Happily Ever After by Case.
Yeah, that.
Oh.
Wow. You want like that's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of build up to these things going on.
Right, like not everyone has to
motherfucking raping you records. I'm on a roll.
You remember the video with Case and Beyonce?
Yes, okay.
So right, like not everyone got it like that. So like, oh, show up here.
But then
do this.
Do that. But the thing about it is also is like you want that shit to be memorable. And if somebody getting proposed to is gonna be memorable anyway, but that's a high that you can't really replicate in somebody's life. Graduation, all these years of build up, and then you add our relationship into it, and then I take it from here and kick it up another level.
Right.
And now you got all of this shit in one day that you can all remember, and like, selfishly enough, it's probably easy for him to remember. Because your graduation day was the day I proposed to you, so I don't have to remember all these different dates,
right?
And that's the bullshit.
It's the buildup of I graduated on this day, and like when you tell your kids this shit, it's like your father surprised me this, and it's a beautiful story.
Yeah,
but it's double fold. Like
it is.
If you're a hater, you found something wrong in this shit.
I agree. Speak that shit.
If you're a hater, you found something wrong.
Because no.
I can quote my friend who was voicing her opinion because we had this conversation on Twitter. And she was like, take away the context of this particular couple and focus on just the act of... Oh, wow.
The act of proposal.
Is fucking me up. Anyway,
yeah, it's hot.
Take away the context of this particular couple and focus on just the act of proposing, and specifically on a woman's day of accomplishment. We're from Caribbean families. And she was saying, as a woman, I am telling you, families will believe getting married is a much greater accomplishment than her graduation. And that's going to be the only thing that defines their day.
And it's like,
and that's not even a fictional state. You know that's true from traditional families. And the pushback is, if the woman is happy that you're adding to her day, then there's literally this is nothing to talk about.
Right.
But if there is someone that's like, I don't want this day to be about anything but all the work I've done to get there's literally nothing wrong with that either.
But then, and with that same time, if you're being proposed to, how would you even? You don't even.
Yeah, no, that's an awkward moment,
right. And it's like, I'll
so
say
it's like,
yes,
I'm not saying
tonight
that.
we laying down. We can have a discussion.
But to push back on that, but if you feel that way, then you should tell them. Then
how the fuck are you gonna tell somebody that's gonna surprise you?
So then why? So then
I think you also listen. If you're willing to propose to somebody, in today's society, it's really not true. But I feel like this: you got to know who the fuck you're about to marry. If you're proposing,
she also knows she's going to say yes or no.
If not, that's a true. Like you doing all that, and you know, like.
And how do we know she wanted to say yes? Because you definitely put her on the spot now.
Ooh,
okay,
that is a good point.
That's an awkward moment. If she was like,
"Nigga, we ain't ready."
So I think. I think these are all great points. However, if you feel that if on the day that you were going to graduate and get your achievement, that no man should propose to you because it's taken away from a day that you did all this hard work, then you should have that conversation. And here's why. I know you're like, wow. Like these are things you think about beforehand. If marriage is viewed as an achievement for a woman more so than getting your degree, right? Getting a degree, you know about this already. So then. Maybe she didn't know he was going to propose to her at that point in time, right? But I'm pretty sure they had to talk about getting married. I'm pretty sure they had to talk about weddings and all this other stuff. So if she felt like, hey, listen, you know what? If you're going to propose to anytime soon, don't do it on the day of my achievement.
You're assuming a lot.
But then it's like, okay, well,
you're assuming a lot.
But no, they should have open communication,
right?
But there's two things because they should talk about it. That'd be great. But let's be blunt about this. In a lot of scenarios, that's not going to happen.
Right,
that's
because
be
men want complete and utter control of that moment.
How we're in complete control of that moment?
Hell yeah, bro.
Yes.
Complete control.
You better not have an iota of an opinion on that shit.
don't even think about marriage, and I want control of that moment too. Like,
in all honesty, and I was literally talking to my boy about this shit. We talked about a whole grand scope of shit yesterday, but I was like, when I proposed to my girl, she got to be blindsided like a motherfucker.
Fair enough.
'Cause he wants
Two,
you to cry.
it's got to be built up. Yeah, because I'm literally. And only because I love her, but I feel like I'm offering my life up. Like, all right, cool. I want to be one with you, and everything about me is about to come to a point and finish because I need to be. It's no longer me and you. It's us now. And at that point, you can't tell me shit. Like I have to figure out what plate I'm gonna put my heart and life up on to present to you. You don't get to choose that.
Okay. But what got me? All right, no problem. I'll definitely.
He just made my whole goddamn point.
Right. My whole thing is like they made it seem like he was purposely trying to take away the shine away from her.
But
that's exactly what they were saying.
A hater because he's not in that moment.
It's all about emotional love.
We don't know.
Love coming out of that dude.
We don't know because let me tell you.
Did she look like she was offended?
He wasn't out here like, yo, I did this for her. You know what I'm saying?
We have one couple
exactly
in that one
because
couple
there's been plenty of situations.
They were fine. I'm saying in general, like outside of that one couple scenario, there's going to be situations in which there's going to be a woman that didn't want to get married to that guy and is now in a fucking awkward position.
Right.
Didn't want this day to be anything else other than her accomplishments.
Right.
And would have never had that conversation before the proposal about when he
that's the assumption that niggas always think, oh, a woman wants to get married no matter who the fuck's doing it.
No.
No.
Remember, they've been...
That is an assumption.
Do get told no.
And then they get their whole heart full of their asses, and they be like, how did I get here? It's like, nigga, you didn't read the sign sheet, didn't like your ass like that.
Hold on.
I've seen my
it's a small percentage.
Break whole ass big niggas' hearts because she be like, why are you talking to me? And it's like, oh, she really likes me. I'm like, no, she really does not like you. Niggas take a no for, okay, maybe later down the road.
That's
and this is for relationships, not even for proposal.
Right.
So I've seen nudes really think that they're the shit to the point where they get their whole, like, I've had to curse Negroes out. Like, no, I don't want to fuck with you in this way.
But Vonna,
no, thank you.
But there's a difference. Those are dudes who are not taking no for an answer.
No, and then there's dudes that fucking assume that because you're a female, because I'm that nigga, that you should be blessed enough to say yes to my proposal.
I feel like that's a very small statistic, but I agree that they exist only because
those motherfuckers.
Because if I'm just still it could be small nonetheless. Compared to everybody, my whole thing is, if I'm not mistaken, in the video, I think he said they've been together for 6 years. If I'm not mistaken, you know what I'm saying. So if 6 years, he would know, you know what I'm saying, if she wanted to be married to him because they had that talk. You know what I'm saying? He could be in denial and be like, yeah, she wants to marry me. That's different. He knows whether or not she wants to marry him or she doesn't. If the nigga's in denial, we know what it is.
Right.
Here it is, you know, he proposed to her on the day because generally when we do proposal, it's a build up, it's out of emotion, it's about us in a sense.
Pussies, yeah, take a lot of your energy to get that shit out.
What?
Y'all, because I'll tell you this much: a woman will be more prepared to propose to a guy than a guy is more prepared.
That's because you're more ready to settle down than we ever are.
Exactly, pussies.
How we pussies?
How do you get to test my gangster or relationships? So you have no rebuttal for that. You just want to throw that out there?
No.
So anyway,
at some point, a woman knows.
Clearly, she's not talking about me.
No, I know I'm
clearly,
not.
Right?
Why are you getting offended?
The look in your eyes was wild, nigga.
Tell about the OK Corral she just came out of.
Pussy.
Pow 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 pow. What?
Just kick through those fucking swing doors, guns out, think everybody ain't strapped. The fuck? Hold on a second.
Listen, I'm gonna end it like this. Unless the man is parading the woman around, unless the man is unless he's like heard no and he's trying to make it a yes. Generally, a man, if he's proposing on your graduation date, is doing it out of love. He's not making it about him personally. You know what I'm saying? Generally,
the only thing I want to add to that is make sure there's reciprocated, bro.
Right.
Don't put yourself out there because you get fucked up.
Right, and that's why I'm saying, like, if he's been together for 6 years, if you've been together with somebody for 3 years, I want to say, at least you would know if they want to they want to marry you, dependent on the type of relationship that you have.
Because people be like, I want to get married, and then if they say I don't want,
you could do the same. You could do the same shit in 6 months.
We're talking about Jim Jones and Chrissy, not but an hour ago.
Thank you.
A ghetto love.
That ghetto. Like I said.
Unacceptable. This is not 92.
Like I said,
stop it.
Men aren't taking the shine from you. And if they are, they're doing it purposely. We ain't fucking with them. They're not doing it. And if you don't want a man to propose to you on your graduation, or whatever event that you want, your selfishly, which is all right, you own to that. I'm not saying selfish in a bad way. If you want all the attention on you, tell them. That's it.
Yo, dropping a little bit of game on fellas that might be listening to it. Ask a lot of fucking questions.
Basically, just
scenarios, hypotheticals.
Yes,
they help
because that's
how
you
don't want to make ass out of yourself by assuming.
And he's very much of he's a good mind ninja because he'll ask. I'm like, where the fuck did that question come from?
So I have a question.
And 6 months later, that situation
and he's really good at that.
So do you think it was fair for her to say no at that point in time?
If she didn't.
If she wasn't feeling it,
I would have been like, you know what? Can we talk? Can we have a moment?
That's a no.
Wait. No. Hear me.
No, it's not.
Anything besides a yes in that situation's a
no.
There are dudes that have been turned down on their first proposal to the same woman and ended up getting married.
Right.
I don't know. Listen, they must be
strong
emotionally
dude.
stronger than me. Because if I got that no, cool. All right.
We out. Listen. No. But see,
that's a shot of Virginia Black. Hold on. Sign. I'm out.
So you think it? No. I'm not saying that it's not her right to say no, but do you think she's right to say no because she wants that day to be about her?
Yeah.
Yes.
She can make that selfish choice. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be super awkward, but
no. All right. That's gonna take some building up afterwards. Like, I love you, but I needed that to myself. Like,
you on your own with that one.
See, but that's
yo, you really throw away a whole ass relationship.
You said no to my proposal. Literally, you just said no to my. You literally said no.
For a bunch of pussies. You can't even take a fucking criticism or some shit. God damn it.
This is why your context.
That's why y'all a bunch of pussies.
This is why your context leading up was so important. You said 6 years.
Exactly. So you want to throw away a whole ass
that
relationship.
she truly loves you and she says no or not right now.
There's a discussion behind that.
Leave it alone. Place it for later. Let the day play out.
No.
You owe those 6 years.
No.
Explanation.
No, she gonna play out the whole day. Now, if we're in a relationship, we're never getting married. It's like you said no.
What?
Why?
That shit would hurt. It would hurt. But I'll be like, you got to the end of today.
6 years. I want you to understand what's going on here. 6 years we've been together, right? And in no shape or form have I gotten the heads up that you would want to date yourself if I were to propose. And I'm not doing it out of spite. I'm doing it out of love. So you're turning me down.
But hold up.
Now we're gonna give you a whole ass rule book.
No, hold up. No, because we're having two things, right?
This is a teachable moment.
It is a teachable
so
moment.
we're talking about feelings, like just point blank. We're talking about feelings. But at the end of the day, you're talking about her feelings. This entire situation is dictated by her feelings. If she's not feeling it, that's literally what we're saying. Like, you're saying that it's going to hurt your feelings, right? But the day's about her feeling good.
Right.
And it's a choice.
It's a choice. So if she doesn't want to get married to you on this day or doesn't want to accept you, that's her feeling to do that. Like, you never had a moment where you said no.
You still said no. You still said no. But you still said no.
You respected it enough for 6 years to come to this conclusion. You got to give it at least 24 hours, bro.
Wow.
A
whole last day?
No. That's more than a day. You wild.
100%.
This ain't
like you listen. You have to leave your family at some point and come back home with me.
If you're assuming if they live together.
This ain't give a damn. I gotta drive you home. Nobody daddy ain't taking you home.
She don't got her own fucking car.
If I propose to you, you getting in the car with me, nigga.
You see how it went from a lifetime movie?
No, we got
fucking competitive.
We got to talk.
No.
We gotta talk.
He's right. You have to talk.
No, I'm laughing
like
because
I just made an ass out of myself in front of y'all whole family, and then if you say yes later, I gotta face these people. They're gonna clown your family. Gonna clown you.
But listen, you're not allowed to not.
But she said no because you were ruining her moment. That's why she said not because she didn't, not because she don't love you, not because it's not the right time.
Okay.
But you're ruining her moment. But you're ruining her.
Only reason
everybody here.
Only reason I expound upon this, bro, is because we have been watching that series on, I forgot what channel it is, Black Love.
Mm-hmm.
There are situations, bro, where your heart gets ripped the fuck out. And you have to still decide to stay married, because marriage is a lifetime commitment if you play it right. Now, that being said, if you can't take that L, how you gonna stay there for 45 years, 70 years, 60 years? Shit might happen.
Way more difficult situation.
You know what? I may have to watch that show and come back to you.
Bro,
but right now,
the situation.
But right now, it doesn't have to be graduation. It could be any moment of yours that I felt like, let me profess my love for whatever reason, and you say no is no. I'm out. Or we can still be, cool. Be in a relationship. We can be cool.
You know what we can compare it to? Remember that moment when Ariana got her Lifetime Achievement Award?
And Drake was
got dubbed all cutesy on stage? And she dubbed him?
Oh, yeah.
That's literally this.
Yes.
What did he say?
Some shit.
I'm in love with her.
Doesn't matter. She dabbed on him.
Yeah.
Because she was like, she said so in an interview post. She said, I don't like compliments. Like, I don't know what you were doing on stage. Like, this wasn't a moment for this. This is like about me. This is literally that moment where
exactly
they still went out.
Dude professing his love for her.
Yeah, but he was making it about himself. Like,
and he's famous.
Yeah.
Were they in a relationship?
And good looking.
Yes.
And
I'm just asking. That's an ego check like a motherfucker.
I know, but here's the thing. They still stayed together after that. They broke up a little while later, but they still stayed together after that.
Yeah,
if you're in a marriage, then you're going to have that scenario and still stay together.
Yes.
It's a humbling ass moment, bro.
Let me just Mayhem's entire body posture right now. He is like all kinds of in his feelings. And
word.
You are. You turn. First of all,
I normally turn
away from me. You
body language, bro.
All right, fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna say I turned more so throughout as the
he turned his back to the female in the conversation.
Yes, he
just
did.
To make a goddamn point.
His whole ass shoulders in his jaw.
Yes, he turns around to fix it.
That's what I'm saying. Your whole ass body posture changed.
Just think. I normally adjust myself throughout the podcast, but I understand it may have been fueled about our conversation. It was in no way to disrespect you.
I know, but I peeped it. I see you.
But listen, but at the end of the day, I think what we're saying is, though, that this is really couple by couple.
Yeah.
Because there's no general rule for everybody.
And if you're going to propose to somebody, know your partner and thyself.
Yes.
And also know if they're going to say yes, bro. Jesus, don't be out here. Like, the fuck?
You put your nuts on the table, passed off a hammer. It's like, we gonna play this game? I'm keeping them and not keeping them.
I watched this NBA show, and a fan wrote in a letter, and the letter was,
I will adjust myself now.
My boyfriend loves your show, and I wanted to propose to him, so here it goes. Could you read this letter on air with the picture? And it's the girl proposing to her boyfriend. And then here's the awkward moment. Everybody on that show is married, right? So they go like, yeah, she wants to marry you. Let us know. Hopefully he says yes. Because that's awkward. You don't know, right? Like, don't be the guys on that show that don't know. That shit ain't wild. Because imagine if they had to come back in the follow-up. Yeah, he wasn't with the shits.
Well, there was a woman that recently in Times Square just proposed to a guy. It was a black couple. And he was fucking elated. And put that ring on so fucking fast. So I was like, oh, okay, hand clap.
Props to you, bro. Not I, said the cat.
Oh, my God. He
got the woman to propose.
Wait.
Several times.
Never.
Look.
Should you ever?
Here we go.
Go down that road.
I already know.
Sorry. One more cute story. Did you see the lesbian couple that ended up proposing to each other at the same time?
Yes, that was so nice. They both had rings. Where were they? They
were like in a park or something.
They were at I guess their first date.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
The one got down on her knee, pulled out her ring, then the other one started laughing, and everyone's like, "Why she laughing?" She pulled out her ring.
Only two women. That would never happen with two guys.
No, you'd be surprised.
I'm telling you, that would never happen with two guys.
We're
so oblivious, cute. Even if you're with another dude. It don't matter. Like, what are you talking about?
It was really cute. Cute.
Somebody's got to be the bottom of this situation.
Damn, I want to call that segment "Grown Ass Talk" because that's a grown ass talk. Shout out to us. Anyway,
out here growing and shit.
Let's go back to our childhood for a second. Will Smith and these bars.
That don't exist.
Oh my God.
Listen, he went diamond. Shut up.
No, he did not. No, he did not.
Will Smith went diamond.
I'm leaving.
Yes, he did.
This has been your boy
Millennium
Mayhem
Soul.
Mike, YFR Mayhem. I'm out.
Play yourself. That's your favorite rapper, son. Oh my God. Everybody fuck the Fresh Prince. Don't you play yourself.
Hold on.
Mayhem has put down his headphones.
Will Smith's first album is a hip hop classic, I guess. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't.
Wait. What are the singles from there? What are the singles?
Parents Just Don't Understand. Some other shit.
Exactly.
I don't listen to that type of rap.
Okay.
Even if we're in the 80s, I'm listening to NWA. I'm like, I can't deal with this shit.
But you got a Carlton Banks out there jamming Will Smith.
Facts.
That's true.
But in all seriousness, so Will is back to making music again. Him and Jazzy Jeff are actually about to go on their first world tour because I didn't know this. At the height of his rap career, Fresh Prince actually blew up.
Yep.
And that they never went on a world tour.
Nope.
So that killed like the rap career. And afterwards, he started making music without Jazzy Jeff. And I don't think he toured on those albums.
No.
So like he just sold a shit ton of records and never went touring.
And did videos and shit. And was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going on tour. He was too busy making blockbuster movies.
So now, I mean, he's got time to do what the fuck he feels like doing.
Right, because
Listen,
he's old and rich.
He's getting back into music and he's been dropping freestyles.
Here's the thing. My shit is, you think they ain't gonna be a bunch of grown ass men in these stadiums talking about nah, getting jiggy with it. They gonna be jamming, doing that whole shit. They gonna be a fucking 35, 37-year-old man in the audience shooting to Millennium and shit.
Listen, fast forward.
When
Actually,
Negro show up in a shiny suit, I'm gonna throw some shit at you.
What if they show up in a black suit with shades on? Because he did the MIB shit too.
God.
listen, there are grown adults who are doing the roly with a Dabber Ranch, and before then, crank that Soldier Boy. Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Shout out to you, Will Smith. Goddammit.
Do
Get
what
them
you
checks.
do. Keep on making money.
I'm a big fan of Will Smith. Fresh Prince was like one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
Martin.
Like, I think as a person, he's a very positive role model, influential. He's an icon in his field. But them bars are trash, bro. Like, every time people keep posting, like, yo, Will Smith rapping like he got a point to prove. Nigga, I don't care. Like, what are we talking about?
He's really getting, he don't get money from that because there's a
He
whole.
is. People are going to go see it.
And not even kids. It's good for kids because they can listen to it and their parents don't have to like censor them.
Summertime.
That's a fact because that shit is my shit.
Listen, my boy Mayhem said the other day that he thinks Jaden Smith's a better rapper than Will.
Who?
Jaden, his son.
Oh, Jaden. I heard you.
And I was just like, I don't know if I can give him that because Will, I mean, I fuck with his rap career, but he has classics. But then I heard him on the remix to Jaden's song. I'm like, yeah, you're right, man. I don't even know what I was doing that. Shout out to you, Jaden. You out here watching your living.
Oh my God. Yeah,
listen, it's a new generation. Back in the day, you wait till you beat your pops in basketball. This is the hip hop generation. You catch him slipping on a feature.
Kill him.
Yo, my thing is, if Lil Uzi Vert could get rich rapping, Will Smith could definitely revive his career.
Hold on. I'll push back on that. Hold on. Because I've listened to Lil Uzi Vert because my little sister listened to with the you know? So Uzi is actually pretty nice. Uzi is nice. The problem with Uzi,
is he though?
He's like a more modern Drake. He's a more modern Drake. He hasn't blown up lyrically like Drake has, but I swear if you take the moment and you listen to his
You mean Quentin Miller? My bad. Shots fired.
I hate you. I hate you because I hate you. Anyway.
He really laughed. That was a hearty ass laugh, babe. That's a hearty ass laugh.
Uzi Vert is dope. Uzi Vert is dope.
No, I'm just saying, if you can actually have that as a genre of hip hop, Will Smith can definitely have a resurgence and get a chance.
By the way, I want the record to stand.
Uzi Vert is better than both of them, though.
I'm not telling Will Smith to not rap because
he gonna do what the fuck he want anyway.
Exactly. And I'm like, there's gonna be people that are gonna be paid and excited. I had one person say to me something that caught me all the way off guard about this because I said the same comment that I said to y'all about his raps on Facebook. and someone came into my comment section and they were not feeling my comment. They said, I've always loved Will Smith's raps. In fact, I think he's a better rapper than he is an actor. And I was just like,
delete.
I'm sorry.
Delete.
This man played.
Hold on. Are you going to make the leap and say Men in Black, the song was better than the movie? Because we can't operate on the same playing field anymore.
First of all, it's a remake.
You in it versus I Am Legend? Nigga. Wow. And I was just like,
Pursuit of happiness. Human race. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Listen, it was one of those moments where I was like, they're not saying anything bad, but I feel like just flaming the fuck out of somebody. Like,
whoever you are, your opinion from any point forward is invalid on anything.
Nah,
I don't ever want to know that person in real life. Like, if I see that person anywhere when I'm with you and you point them out, I will never listen to anything that they say.
Listen, in the odd chance to listen to this podcast, you're entitled to your opinion. That shit just caught me off guard.
Not when it comes to Highbridge. Don't come to Highbridge with that shit. We're gonna run you out there, motherfucker. You're like, that's the motherfucker right there. Will Smith, what?
You prefer Will Smith's rapping career versus his acting career. That what?
Son, how many times has Will saved the day?
Okay, how many times does Will put out actually great movies, right? Not good movies, but great, like great
That's what
movies.
I'm saying.
That shows his acting ability. Let's versus that his rapping. You know what? You have a different ear. Your eyes and your ears are on a different wavelength. You seeing things we're not
on
seeing.
a different body.
You see in a different color wavelength. I don't know what to tell you. I just want to say that Lil Uzi Vert is better than both Jaden and Will. So,
Wow.
And I'll bring up singles next time. I swear.
I've listened to Jaden's whole first album, which is actually, damn, that shit caught me off guard.
Lil Uzi Vert can't moonwalk, nigga. Shut up.
He got the Uzi shoulder. He has his own dance.
It don't matter.
He has his own hold on.
So
iconic dance at that.
I gotta give Uzi props. Because in the age of Instagram rap feuds where people are yelling on each other on Instagram,
he want the smoke.
Rich the Kid was popping a whole lot of shit.
He made that motherfucker duck
He
behind
made the mistake and go to Philadelphia, and little Uzi hopped out that car seat ran up on Rich the Kid.
All 5'2" of that little motherfucker.
Rich
was
the
like,
Kid,
what's up?
You ever see somebody so shook they don't know what to do? Look into Rich the Kid's eyes. He's like, they just want to smoke weed today. Shit. He tried to play it off like, I'm cool, but every time Uzi came closer, you see his boys around him like, I don't want this. Like, I do art. Like, I did not come to Philly to fight nobody.
Wow.
Rich the Kid hit the brakes. And then on the video was like, oh, no one took my chain. Look at my face. I'm like, nigga, you was running. It's like Safari talking that shit after he ran and left this man to get his ass beat.
Exactly.
Yeah, ain't nobody touch me because he ran.
Usain Bolt.
They can't catch us.
Oh my god! So shout out to Uzi. You know, I'm gonna stop making fun of your shoulders because you barely want all the smoke. Don't fall on me, nigga.
That's called the bob and weave shit.
I am done.
All the fades are dead.
I hate you.
Oh man, it's some sad news this week. I hate the transition like this, but this actually, I'm usually when it comes to celebrity deaths, I'm kind of like, you know, RP out of respect, but like this one just like made me like, damn, like with Anthony Bourdain this week, he committed suicide, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like that shit came so out of left field because I remember like all us friends have been reacting. And they shared a photo of him at a fundraiser for Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. And he was just literally there, just chilling, having a good time. He committed suicide while he was filming an episode of his show for the upcoming season. And it just made you really think about, like, the power of depression.
Yeah.
Like, people start talking on Twitter about it. And they're like, people don't understand that depression is not altered by, sometimes you can be depressed because of what's going on in your life, but if you have clinical depression, you can be surrounded by people that love you and feel completely alone in the world. Like that changes nothing.
Yeah.
Or you could feel they have the height of success and feel like an absolute failure.
Yep.
And it's just like, I don't even know how we combat it, but I'm really happy that we're in an age where people who suffer issues like that can seek help and the stigma starting to reduce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I would rather you know, like if you're embarrassed by family, whatever, fuck that shit, man. Go like talk to somebody.
Your life is
like
important.
your life is like you don't know who like there are a lot more people are gonna miss you than you really think.
Right.
Because when Anthony Bourdain passed, like the way people reacted was just like
I felt like I lost an uncle.
Like cause
Like,
and people
legit.
talked about all the shit he did. This dude built his career talking about food without trying to gentrify it.
Right.
Like, we're going to talk about Asian cuisine. We're going to go to Asia.
We're going to go to the poorest part of Asia.
Yeah, hang out with grannies, locals.
Going out to the
I think
sticks.
that's one of the parts that hit me the hardest when, like, I heard about it because I didn't know about it at all.
Yeah.
Like, it was everything was going on. When I woke up and I rolled over, that was the first thing out of Sage's mouth.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. And that just sent me on, like, an avenue for the day to, like, seek out things. And I'm like, damn. One of my first thoughts outside of him passing and having like remorse for that happening was these people in the third world countries, and he went to these remote corners that have no access to common communication or social media that like love him and wait for him to come back.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
one of those dudes when he went to Asia and was like, I haven't seen you for like 10 years and like the whole village rejoiced. They did a special meal for him and all this stuff. That
Yeah.
dude has no idea. And nobody's going to go back there to go see him and inform him that his longtime friend is gone in that way. And I'm like, all the lives that this dude touched in remote corners of wherever the fuck he
Right.
went at the time, they have no clue.
And he took food like he wasn't condescending when it came to food. He has an episode of one of his shows where he goes to the Bronx.
Yep.
And that's like one of the dopest episodes because I'm like, I lived in New York my whole life and I learned so much shit watching this episode. And the food, it wasn't like some like, I'm not trying to throw Guy Fieri under the bus, but it wasn't just like,
No,
oh, let's
you
just
can't.
find the grossest, most unhealthy shit that we can
Totally.
eat.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Throw
like
him under the bus.
actually like real food and the stories behind that. You learn politics through the food.
Yep.
You learn how culture and it's like there's no one else doing that shit. As popular as food media has become,
No,
There's not that many
there's
people-
doing it.
But he's
Eddie
the
Wong-
godfather of that shit, though.
Eddie Wong is real.
Absolutely.
He's picked up that fucking baton and is running with it right now.
Absolutely. But on his level,
on the
Bourdain-
level, like Anthony Bourdain is like he is
because
definitely.
you know what else he did?
What?
He also started his own
probably know.
publishing imprint,
Yes.
and that
He actually had he had something that's it's on one of the piers that's about to open up. He has like a whole food court
Yeah,
about
yeah,
to open
yeah,
up
yeah.
in the city. Like it wasn't like first of all, yes, I'm totally fucked up about his passing. Also, we also have to mention that Kate Spade in the same fucking week committed suicide. I'm not as emotionally attached to Kate Spade because I'm culinary trained. I've read his book. I've seen all his shows, but as a woman and someone that actually likes Kate's work and her fashions, that hit me because it's like, damn, like that shit. And actually, I was just speaking to Highbridge's soon to be sister-in-law because we were talking about it before we left to go down here, and she was like, how Kate Spade's sister has commented on. After Robin Williams committed suicide, she became infatuated and obsessed with how he did it and why he did it. So this is something that has been growing within her for some time now. But it brings out the whole thing of you as a person that may not have depression or know what the hell someone else is going through, it's very difficult for you to have influence on someone that does.
yeah.
And some people always like, oh, you gotta check in on people. I'm like, yeah, but when you're really in the deep, dark parts of your depression, you don't want to see anybody.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to smell things. Like it becomes so like ridiculously numbing that it's hard for you to even seek out those people that are depressed.
Yeah.
And you don't know, and as a person that's trying to be a helper, you don't know how to even reach that person. So this is why it's important to know the signs for more mental health awareness to be out there, because the people that want to help, we need better access to tools to help those
Yeah,
people.
I was about to say that. Like, they really need. I know people have been saying like checking on your friends, but
they
I know
how
people
about,
who've been clinically depressed, and my thing is like, what does checking mean? Like, if someone's having an episode of clinical, like, literally give me instructions of what to do,
Right.
Because I don't know, and
Right.
and you want to support that person, make them feel a lot alone, but me pestering him that moment may not even be helping them.
How about you can probably send them into depression by asking them if they're depressed?
Yeah.
It's like, I wasn't, now I'm thinking about it. Fuck. Like, it's a very tender part of our culture now. And some people really feel like, oh, it's their status, it's all this. Is like the fact that Robin Williams, because when he committed suicide, that fucked me.
That shit was wild too.
It really fucked me up
because they were talking about like this whole thought process about it.
Yeah, long
he felt
time.
That last show that he did, he felt like he failed everyone on the set when it got canceled, and that helped contribute to. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, yo, that's the power of the mind, right?
Yes.
Because in our minds, he's Robin Williams, right?
Right.
Like, you ain't got shit to prove to
you
nobody.
can't do no wrong.
You Robin fucking Williams.
Patch
but
Adams,
in his mind, he's like, I'm failing.
Right.
And it's like, there's nothing you could say.
Right.
Because, like, I can't even see his perspective. Because I'm like, to me, I'm like, bro, you're fucking
the
Robin
shit.
Williams.
Like, you brought so much joy to just not, like, adults, to kids. Like,
yeah.
The fact that he is such an icon in kids' minds. There's whole ass kids that know him as the genie. There's whole ass kids that know him as being Peter Pan from Hook. Like, he has put such a mark on our generation. Like, a lot of people felt it when he passed away. And now we have another one. And it hit me, like, all my culinary friends and people in the industry were like, yo, like, because I remember when this book came out, like, that was something that a lot of my guy friends, well, anyone that was cooking and in culinary were reading it. And they were like, yeah, he's a fucking rock star, da-da-da-da. But it's also, it was a big-ass mirror to show people, and like...
a cautionary tale.
It was a very cautionary tale, like, be aware that you have to really take care of yourself, because this industry will fucking eat you up and spit you the fuck out. It is no joke. And the fact that he was able to take that and then turn it into several different shows is really crazy to me. And I'm so upset. Like, rest in peace, Bourdain. Rest in peace, Kate. It's really upsetting.
Yeah. Oh my God. We gotta go to some lighter shit. So where y'all think LeBron gonna go?
To hell if you don't pray.
Wow.
Facts.
Wow. Okay.
I just felt like saying that. I didn't mean it. Look at his face.
We are not getting courtside. Thanks, Vonna.
I don't fucking like Cleveland anyway.
He ain't get a ring. Shit's all fucked up now.
Wow.
What we gonna do now?
Listen,
this is what happens when you let light-skinned dudes win championships, okay?
Oh my God.
Tell them about the attack of the waffle colored Negroes. Go ahead.
They saw Drake get taken out and they said, no, sir. Not two in 1 year.
Redemption will be theirs. Listen,
You ain't
shout out to
shit.
King James, but you can't beat a whole 5-man squad by yourself. It's not gonna happen.
tried, though.
Never.
You know
He tried.
what?
Hold up. Technically, it was LeBron James versus the Warriors versus JR. Because it was like...
He got the 6-man award that night.
Yo, shout to... Okay. Golden State fans, y'all trolling game. I gotta give it to you. They gave him a standing ovation when he came out.
I would have
the
too.
game after, and then when he was at the free throw line, they were chanting MVP. I said, "Damn!"
Yeah.
Yo,
Let that all marinate.
Mark my words. I'm calling this right now. J.R. Smith is never going to recover from this finals. Like,
You think so?
as a player, here's why.
J.R. Smith smokes.
He's not going to
remember these finals by the end of the month.
Years ago, there was an NBA player named Nick Anderson. He was one of the best free throw shooters in the league. He missed 4 free throws in a row to win an NBA championship. And from that moment on, he never tried to take winning shots and would miss free throws in crunch time. Mentally, he kept replaying that over in his head to the point he got a phobia about it. When you see JR playing game 2, trying to like prove like I'm better than this and still unable to like really perform at a JR level, this shit's gonna haunt him.
If this isn't a rehab story,
This shit's gonna
Like,
fucking haunt him.
you need to
Stop smoking
Like that was the most heads up play that you could possibly have in your career as
I
an
ain't
NBA
never
player.
seen that much space between him and another person and the ball. I was like, everyone over here. Him and LeBron over here. I'm like, what's going on?
George Hill just wants to thank JR because I missed that free throw. George Hill's like, thanks, JR. I missed that free throw.
That was ridiculous.
Ain't shit going down after that. Like, how you piss him off so bad that he punched something and break his own goddamn hand?
Listen, yo, I want a frame of LeBron's reaction to JR with the two hands. Because that's the ultimate look of disappointment. Like, nigga, never be like, nigga. Someone posted that picture and the caption was, may you never look at your homie like LeBron.
Yo. Facts. Shout out to Riley.
That's the wingman fuck up of the year face. Like, I could have had it. What were you doing? Like,
I dropped 51 and lost, nigga. Damn.
I scored half the points. By myself. One man, one ball, one rim.
I mean, honestly,
and he didn't have nothing.
I have an issue with the fact that there's an entire team riding on one guy's back for several reasons. Like, one, like, why did y'all set it up like that? If
it wasn't supposed to be like that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's too much.
It just ended up being like that.
And then, if I was a player on that same team, I'd be like, well, what the fuck? Like, I was offended for them. And the fact that
everybody kept on saying that he don't have no hope.
Everybody. I was like, well, nigga.
You saw the SNL skit about that?
Nah, dead ass. But here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing, though.
Kids.
The funny shit about it is that everybody's always saying that shit. They're NBA players. I don't give a fuck. Any dude on that team will come to your block and shoot everybody out the gym.
And scrub you. Like,
so they have some talent. It's just they look like bums next to the people who are superior in talent and hard work.
See, you know what kills me is like, okay, y'all keep on saying, oh, yeah, no help. Okay, so why do you keep on building teams like that? Like, if anyone has not learned...
Kyrie was supposed to be here, but Kyrie didn't want no parts of this.
Fucking well.
Listen,
you can't bank on it.
Kyrie would have been in the finals right now, and it would have been a better finals if the Celtics would have made it. But he got injured.
But I don't want them to win, so it's
So,
wow.
Listen, even though LeBron didn't win the chip,
True New
the
Yorker.
Eastern Conference playoffs was some of the best playoffs ever watched.
Yeah.
Because the disrespect... Okay, people are laughing at the memes of JR... But that's because they forgot the memes about Toronto, LeBronto.
Oh, shit, yes.
That was crazy.
Yo, they were calling it that at the game. So that's just disrespect. And then after getting traded, after asking for a trade for LeBron to beat Kyrie's team, it was like, yeah, nigga, did it by myself. Okay, and Kevin Love. But by myself.
I would be really offended. Like, I can't. So back to my point. If anyone hasn't noticed, like, this is maybe out of the last 5 years that I've actually won the Western Conference to win because it's the fucking Warriors. The Warriors team ethic is like so fucking good because when I watch them play, I feel like they're having fun. That's for me. I don't like watching basketball and it's like all like business feeling. When I watch the Warriors play, they're having fun.
Yes, they're having fun. They're the Monstars.
They're winning.
This is Space Jam.
Everybody get up.
Bugs Bunny.
No. The Monstars were on Cleveland because Hood was making shots and he took all of Curry's juice that night, son. He gave him the ball and then took all his fucking shots. He kept shooting the same shot.
Listen,
and scoring.
With all due respect to Rodney Hood, earlier in the playoffs, when the Cavs were losing, Rodney Hood had been playing well. He'd been put to the end of the bench. Tyronn Lue said, yo, come out here, get your shots up, this game's over. He said no. Once you're in the playoffs and you get called out and your response is no, you're not about this life. They say, go to a shit team where you can score 1,000 points and be irrelevant. Because, no, seriously, some dudes, when it comes to that moment, they're not built for it. I'm not criticizing you.
No.
If you know that this ain't the moment for you, this ain't the team for you, dog. Like, this is not the team for you because you're going to be here again.
Right.
And if you're going to be like, no again, the fuck are you doing here?
Right.
And it's like, are you really that intimidated by another player by that
Yes.
much? But here's the thing. It's like,
The way that
someone
these
said, go DM Kobe in his prime, I'm like, I ain't doing that.
like, I need a career after this. Your stock on your trade level.
Yo, my contract's up. I need my ankles in the offseason. Fuck out of here. I'm about to go DM Robert Horry. He can't dribble.
That's like That's one of the things that I love about Curry and why they call him the fucking babyface assassin. He's not perfect every fucking night, but when he makes shots, that shit cuts to your soul.
It crushes your spirit.
It's like, hold on, wait, this dude shot from the emblem in the middle of the fucking court, and it was all bottom of the net. There was no rim involved. The backboard didn't show up. What the fuck are you doing? And he just, he do that little shimmy on your ass.
Because he has fucking fun. That's what it is.
I'd have fun too if my life was a video game. I got the cheat code to life. You see the muscles behind his elbow? That shit is all for shooting. His pops trained this kid to not shoot on a basketball backboard. Like, he took the backboard off and was like, you gotta hit the net. That's how you shoot as a kid? Right. How do you train your son like that?
Easy. Take the fucking backboard off. I'm just saying, like...
That's rhetorical.
Listen, his father was a legendary shooter.
I know.
Legendary shooter. But you gotta come from a certain stock to be like, you know what? I got this in me. Obi-Wan just told me to take the backboard off. I'm about to do this shit and get real proficient. Like,
may the force be with you.
Yo, son, come on.
One more sports topic before we move on. The World Cup is coming up. I'm going to do what every American does and every 4 year pretend I care about soccer. Though this year is hard because...
It's in Russia.
Teams USA is also not there. They didn't make it.
Because we're trash, right?
No, we're actually good, but they choked.
Are we really good,
They choked. No, seriously, yeah.
Are we?
Listen.
Why is she coming?
Can I have it? Can I have it?
Listen.
Your number. Can I have it?
You looking real good. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah.
That's a French-ass name, Yvonne.
First of all, Team USA Women's the best in the world. And Team USA
Women's,
Men...
though.
We're competitive. Okay?
Before you finish that, I just want to make a point. I make this every time the Olympics and the World Cup come up. Team USA Women's shows the fuck up every year. That's all I gotta say. Flip's hair.
All right.
She fought for this anyway. No. We're not taking away from you. Okay? But we're gonna move on.
Yes.
I was on my statement anyway.
I didn't know. I'm like,
we're still moving on.
Who do I
This is us going.
Because Team USA is there. No country from the Caribbean is there.
Really?
I mean,
none?
Panama.
Really? That's
They may be at the Parkway. That's how I'm judging the Caribbean. Do you be at the Parkway? I see a lot of Panamanian flags. Y'all count.
You know Panamanian. Facts. You know Panamanian. So
they don't come for you though.
I grew up with Panamanians. So like, I love they straddle both sides. They be like, yo, I'm Latino, but that sucker, come on, hey!
Right. All the Caribbean and Central American people show up for everyone's parade.
I eat rice and beans.
The Belizeans, they be out there.
And oxtails. Don't fuck me up.
I can't.
Yo, Team Nigeria's like soccer kit, that shit fly as fuck.
Niger about to take Juice, stand up. Because Niger about to take over the fucking world right now. You got connects in Nigeria still? Because I need some land.
I feel like he knows this already. He's just like, all right, I'm here.
I feel with like all the world tension, this year's World Cup is going to really mean some shit. Like, Cassie's going to be like, yo, since I can't shoot you in real life, you'll come shoot this fade outside the stadium.
Take this quick cleat to the face real quick.
Like when Russia goes up against England, just like, it's going to be, by the way, no, not joking seriously. If Russia ever plays England in the World Cup this year, it's going to be horrendous.
Yes,
because they're hooligans. My nigga.
No.
Watch Euro Cup riots that happen in France.
Oh my God.
When you see dudes getting chased downstairs with cricket bats. Bitch, the game ain't start. Niggas ain't here for the game.
What was
the game ain't start.
What was it on Vice? It was on Viceland. Some obscure ass European
I think
country.
it's no. It's
gangbanging right there.
Croatia? Okay.
Croatia.
East side Russia.
Don't do Croatia like that.
Obscure. Anyway, some country in Europe, we watching on Viceland Sports, and like the feud.
The Serbia.
It's Serbia.
It's Serbia.
It is. It's fucking Serbia.
Croatia, they gonna forget you though.
No, because before every time they play, they have to bring out the riot police.
They had to bring out a riot police for this fucking rival. I was like, This is
and
ridiculous.
then all the flares, you couldn't even see the field.
Yo,
that shit's wild.
Like to the point where they can't even finish the game. And if they do finish it,
shit was on
niggas
fire.
is sharpening knives in the back and like getting their spikes and shit ready. Like, oh, okay, we have to take this whole other crowd out. Like, what? That's too much. And they be worried about fucking black people. Get the fuck out of here.
I would just like to say, Europe, I know you're always trying to make yourself better than Americans.
Yes, but y'all don't know how to fucking handle
American
shit.
sports fans riot once a season, okay? When they win the championship, something's then set on fire.
Yep.
We've all agreed, okay?
Not after every fucking game.
Yeah, y'all, the game ain't even a start and y'all fighting in the parking lot.
Throwing shit at each other across the field.
At least with a title.
Right, and fucking obscure and fucked up things on a dry erase board and holding it up.
Yo,
like,
you know what's the crazy thing about European soccer fans too? They got diss chants, like a whole fucking song.
They have meetings. They
Shit.
meet at the pub and they come up, while they're drunk. They come up with entire diss chants. Like that is a thing.
Okay.
They not only do.
I want to chime in real
chants,
quickly.
They do diss chants.
That sounds pretty dope to have a diss chant against the top of the team. You know what I'm saying? The away team. But as long as it's not disrespectful.
No,
it's disrespectful.
Time out. What are you talking about? Step competitions. Whole diss chants.
That's fraternity stuff.
No, that's not even fraternity. How about that's yes, it's fraternity, sorority stuff, but that's also like cheerleading. Like, are you serious? You're comparing a whole ass fan.
What do you think these people are? Fucking cheerleaders.
We need to sit the fuck down because they be doing.
I'm just saying.
I
that
saw
shit.
Let me tell you. When I was a camp counselor for a summer, and we had like our own World Cup Olympics.
Yeah.
Because we had so many different counselors from all over the world. Mm-hmm. And my country was DR, and of course we had like the smallest amount of people. I was like, that's fucked up. But we had, but we had the most spirit. We won the Spirit Award because I had my kids coming up with diss chants. And we would walk together to the fucking crowds and diss
fucking Hogwarts out this bitch, man.
Shit, I wish I could fucking remember because I did shit to it's going down. Like we had whole ass diss chants. It was very funny. I was the shit.
So yeah, I'll be watching the World Cup. Are y'all guys gonna watch?
No.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Okay. I'm watching for Nigeria.
Fuck that.
I want them to win.
My soccer season's over. Rocket League just finished.
I'm done.
On some politics. On some politics shit.
Rocket League, cut us a check.
The entire Ghanaian Football Federation no longer exists.
What?
Because they got. This dude exposed a corruption scandal when he got 100 officials on tape taking bribes, including the head of the league took $65K in cash. Ooh. Nigga was just
what country is this was in?
Ghana.
The entire Ghanaian Soccer Federation, their whole pro league, shit don't exist no more. Because the Ghanaian government, after the videos came out where everybody and their mama getting paid off, they're like, oh, so we can't be like, oh, it's an isolated incident. No, everybody getting paid off. So they got rid of the whole federation, hoping that FIFA won't investigate. FIFA's like, that's not how this shit works. We got tape. They're like, damn. So they might be banned for 2 years from international competition. And it fucked the women up because the women made the World Cup.
Here the fuck we go again.
And even though their officials weren't involved, they're managed by the Ghanaian Federation. So because they're dissolved, all their entries into international tournaments, done for the year.
That's fucked up.
Done.
I would be going the
No,
fuck
the shit that got me
off.
tight is one of the people that got caught taking a bribe is this Ghanaian referee. He does international matches outside of the continent. Like he does Premier League, European. So he's like a top, very highly qualified referee. He was going to make $75,000 for like the World Cup's like what 3-4 weeks. $75,000 US. He lives in Ghana. That's serious bread.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He got caught on tape taking a $600 bribe. That's what he fucking threw his job away for. $600 fucking dollars. I couldn't believe this shit. I'm like, homie out here getting a bag of $65K. You get $600. Oh God, nigga.
And my question is, who the fuck was the snitch?
Really, babe?
That's what everybody's asking. It's a reporter. There's a reporter in Ghana. I forgot his name. But he does investigative journalism, and he actually hides his face so no one knows what he looks like.
Yeah, so
because,
he gets shot.
Obviously. So my favorite is like some of the Ghanaian fans are like, This isn't corruption. We don't know why they're taking the money. Nigga, come on, man. Y'all better than this. Lie better.
That's the whole point of corruption.
Lie better.
Jesus.
You get paid for decisions. Like
I want some bribes. How do I get in?
That shit. Y'all gotta watch the video because it's like so blatant. Dude was like, friends are supposed to give each other gifts. Wow. He's on tape looking like he's looking into the camera. Doesn't realize the camera. Like, this is how you build friendship and build trust. Like, we'll see each other again and we'll help each other out. I'm like, you just admitting to conspiracy. You fucking oh God, my head. Jesus.
As you can tell, Ocean has a problem when you do shit for small amounts of money. That's illegal.
There's two things that annoy me in the world. When you throw away big shit for tiny shit, and when you're stupid about it. Like, okay, you're going to risk your $75,000 salary for $600? All right. But then you're going to do it in a well-lit hotel room where I can clearly see you and then talk to the nigga regular degler for 15 minutes afterwards?
But wait. No. But also, is it technically the fact that he's stupid or dude could just be really good at his fucking job? Because he hides his face. So clearly he must be able to fit into situations where he can't be seen.
I don't know. Jason Bourne shit did you just try to spring on me?
I'm just saying.
No, scratch that.
I asked who the snitch was. He said he doesn't show his face. So
everyone knows his name, but no one's ever seen his face.
My man be moving like a motherfucking the spook in the corner.
All I'm saying is I need to be like that Jamaican woman who won the lotto recently.
Yo! Shout out to her!
When I'm taking my bribes.
Not only did she have a mask, that was a wig too. So she that was a wig.
Oh, she got real creative. Shout out to you, sister.
Yeah, because
she knows Brooklyn right now.
Out in these streets, they calling. She said, I heard the beginning of that song. Yeah, I like y'all should be slipping. Fuck out of here.
We drove past her in the Phantom. We didn't even know about it.
I'd have accepted that money and booked a fucking trip out of that country fast.
I've thought about it like, when you win big, do you show your face or do you not show your face? And I can't lie, two sides of me comes out in that moment. The responsible side of like, have some lawyer accept this money on your behalf. Yep. And I wish a nigga would side. I got shooter money. Come at me. I'm all on here like this, being like a young Takashi. I got chains on too, bitch. Just like after the lotto ceremony, I'm just like in the hood, Millie rocking with a gold chain. Y'all can touch me, you're bad. Two sides come out.
Every time Kenny gets that side of him to come out, I see Dave Chappelle in that fucking skit where he had the Tyrannosaurus baby egg. It's the most ballest shit ever. That's fucking dinosaur blood.
Cribs.
When he drank the Cambodian breast milk, and he was
but shout out to her though. That was a smart move on her part.
Listen, if I hit the lotto, you would never know. Never. You would never know.
I don't want to know.
Let me tell you something.
We've already completed our exit plan.
No. Let me tell you something. If Ocean wins the lottery, you're going to see him in a lot of photos, happy with about 8 chains on, like he normally says. But I'm probably going to be in the background with my hand like, come down. Like, you like come on.
Listen, I got a lottery plan, okay? If I hit a big number, okay?
What's big?
Over 100,000.
Oh, how much?
No,
I'm sorry, 100 million. Sorry, 100 million. Sorry.
So, like, let's say we hit 50 million. If I had a big number, okay, I'm going to deny I ever said this, but as I'm about to say this. If we hit 50 million, we're going to have what I'd like to call an ignorant weekend. Okay? Here's what's going to happen.
I like
y'all not going to know I won the lottery.
Y'all
just going to get a text. The text going to be like, what you doing tomorrow? You be like, I have work. I'm going to be like, fuck that shit.
That's the key word. Fuck that shit.
All caps.
No smileys.
Like 6 exclamation points.
Text me your address, okay? A black car gonna roll up. You like, do I need to pack? I'm gonna send it the same text again. Fuck that shit.
Just understand that during these texts, the word is not going to be present. It's just gone. That's it. Everything's going to be gone.
We're going to get to the airport. Okay? Okay, the clear port. All right? We're going to land in Vegas. We're going to get off the plane. And here's what's going to happen. Okay? There's going to be
this is
a
where the
bucket.
beat comes in.
There's going to be a bucket. Reach into the bucket and grab a car key. I don't give a shit which one. Because it's going to look like a fucking auto show is on the runway. Okay? Grab your car. Okay? Grab the credit card. Well, it's technically a prepaid, but not no regular prepaid. It's about
That's that unlimited debit card.
And I'm like, I don't know what y'all niggas is gonna do. I'm going to the club and getting bottle service. Do what y'all want. I'll be on the main strip with my shirt off.
Tupac shit.
He's told me about this so much times. I have plans.
I don't give a fuck.
All I'm saying is,
where the bitches at? Where the bitches at, nigga?
listen, my boy.
After that weekend, I'm gonna be responsible for my money. But on that weekend, nah. Just be on TMZ, and then it got into a fight. Slapped the man with a bit. Fuck you.
And then threw a stack at her. Be quiet.
I just paid you.
Well, clean yourself up.
Juvenile, you understand? Play in the background.
My presence is a present.
My boy has told me this so many times. What I've done is I've devised numerous plans depending on how much he's won and how much he's giving me on that card. Because if homie's giving me like, yo, this is $1 million right here, nigga, I'm buying a house with this card, and then I'm going to party.
Do what you want. I don't give a fuck.
You see that?
Just so you know, shit ain't crazy. There is an exit strategy in play just in case you want to give buck.
Right.
Holla.
Listen, son, I'm just saying that
entertaining.
Everybody in my crew's Instagram that week's gonna be lit. Your friend's gonna be DMing you. What the fuck is happening? Why does nigga got his shirt off and 8 chains off?
I'll be like, I gotta find this shirt. Can't talk.
Real talk. That shit ever happened to me, ain't nobody knowing the motherfucking thing.
I respect that.
I'ma disappear in like 364 days. That last day, I'm out. Ain't nobody see this shit, and you just gonna get letters from my representative. That's it. Just show up.
Your consigliere.
Yeah, that's it. He gonna pop up on the island, just go. Like he said, the clear port, and niggas just gonna have to show up. No passport needed, because we don't do that when there's real money involved.
You know, Puff actually did that in real life, though. Like the Clearport thing. Like he had a surprise birthday party where everyone just knew that on this day they had to be at this spot. They show up. It was a private plane, and he flew to Morocco to party with the king.
Facts.
Oh, nigga, what? That's hot. Yes. That's awesome.
You know what my gamer tag is?
Here we go.
I feel there was somebody that like
He had the king.
had like a dinner schedule with his girl one weekend. That weekend, it's just like, where you at? Listen, babe,
that text is gonna cost too much on Roman charges. I don't speak to basic bitches.
Why you
after
call
that. No, ma'am. This was a Hogwarts invite, and you are a muggle. Fuck out of here.
Didn't even get the Verizon map,
Sir, you gotta listen, son. If you try to holler at me, you will get a howler real quick. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Sir.
Yo,
No,
wait,
Sir.
JK,
Hogwarts invite, use a muggle. Fuck out of here.
Sir.
JK, cut the check though.
Sir.
Yo, we gotta wrap up.
Sir.
I want to end with this week's moment of joy. My moment of joy was a story I actually read earlier this morning. There is an elderly man in Connecticut, in Hartford, Connecticut, and for the last 134 days, he's walked 2.4 miles every day.
God.
Why? He's carrying a sign and using it as the walk to raise money for immigrants and immigration rights.
Yeah.
So
That's
he
what's
walks
up.
through his community with a sign that talks about supporting dreamers and immigrants in this country. And why is that a big deal? He actually has serious health issues like scoliosis and other things that make walking extremely painful for him. So he's been doing this for 134 days in a row,
Wow.
2.4 miles a day. That shit hurts, and he says, I have to do it. It's the only way I feel I can contribute, because he said someone has to stand up. And I'm like, shout out to you, sir, man.
Yeah,
That's what's up. Shout out to you, OG.
Shout out.
Sage, yours?
I guess I have two. So my one that's like really like it was from a post from last year, but it resurfaced on my page. There was a really cute black girl. Why are you closing my... See, you being a fucking hater just got exposed.
I'm okay with that.
Anyway, black girl was in a restaurant. It was her birthday, and she was like super dressed up like a princess, like makeup done, hair done, and she had a nice tiara on. Enter a white family with a little white girl, and the white girl was like floored by the black girl, and she really thought that she was a legit princess. So she walked up to the girl and was like said hi, and then she got shy because she's like a little 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Then she came over with her dad, and her dad had her in her arms and was like, my daughter really thinks you're a princess and she wants to give you a hug. Oh, it's so cute. And you know, me and Highbridge had the discussion, like, this is why representation is important, because the fact that there are more women of color being portrayed as princesses makes that a thing to where a little girl like her can think that she is a princess. That's one. That was my own one. I have a petty one. So I was watching the news today, and a lot of people are being profiled, quote unquote, through the TSA process. So there was this really old lady in a wheelchair, and she got patted down. She was okay with it, but the person that was filming it was like, oh, what can she have on her? Well, she didn't do anything wrong. I'm like, ma'am, pat downs are a regular part of the TSA screening process.
Yeah.
She's not being profiled. It's called being a regular fucking human being.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so funny because now there's a slight outcry of like, oh, we need to be more considerate. I said, oh, y'all wasn't considerate when y'all were fucking detaining Sikhs and Muslims, though. Huh.
I've seen whole Air India flights get asked to step to the side for a random screening. Fuck out of here.
Exactly. And I was like, I've seen whole ass wheelchairs have Percocets and weed stuck in the fucking tubing of the fucking wheelchair.
Yeah.
So this was a legit pat down, and she was sitting down. She was complying. She's old, so she was like, all right, whatever. And the person filming it was upset. I'm like, you're mad. And I'm like, oh, it's really funny how when shit applies to you that it's now offensive.
Isn't it?
Fuck out of here.
Isn't it though?
So those are my two.
Chris. Oh, my moment of joy is shout out to Jay Morrison on Mr. Jay Morrison on Instagram and the Tulsa Real Estate Fund for reaching their first goal of $10 million and making an attempt to have economic empowerment in our community and buying back our blocks and stopping gentrification. So shout out to you, King, and everything you're doing with your queen, and I hope that you enjoy your wedding. So yeah, that's it.
That was nice, baby.
My moment of joy comes from my boy who told me, don't let a $7 sundress have you pay $70,000 in child support this summer. We found the receipts from Rainbow. It's one of those moments where he hits you with that. I'm just like, you make so much sense, though.
Oh, my God.
The sundress is going to be out, though, fellas. Look out. Stay alive. Look alive.
Oh, my God.
Or better yet, don't look and get your ass in trouble.
That's impossible in summer.
Yeah, nah.
Oh, my
That's
God.
in summertime.
Sundress season. Jesus. Yo, can I take
What
a
is
moment?
the appeal of a sundress? I need to know.
Hold on a second.
I tell you, because the ass jiggles. No, fuck that shit. I'm on live. Let me tell you something.
He got time.
Women don't understand. Well, you guys do, but you don't necessarily fully understand. When you come out in shorts, right? Not necessarily the shorts, but the shorts that kind of leave room so your ass could gently clap together. Okay? Cleavage shirts, or my itty bitty titty committee out there not wearing a bra but want to wear a white shirt like your nipples ain't showing. Go ahead, mama, swing them chests. You wear, yeah, I said it. Sundresses. Y'all act like y'all walk the same in sundresses. In sundresses, y'all got a whole mean swag. That left cheek goes up. Claps the right one as the right one goes up and the left one goes down. All of a sudden, nigga, you wish you was here. What's that pyramid scheme? Wish you were here with that blue tie. Wish you was here. $7 sundress.
I would like to shout out all the sundress wearers who've been preparing all winter for this.
Yeah, y'all about to get your
that been hitting the gym like it's their second job. So when the sundress woman come, not only do they get the attention, they making eye contact with you. Yeah, nigga.
Yeah,
what you got to say?
I know you looking what you're looking
and
at.
I'm just like, listen.
You know why I'm here.
First of all, La Marina all summer. Second of all, when you're speechless, that's a legit response. Because at some point when a woman looks at you, you're just like, I don't want to say anything. I just want to look. Like, I just, can you just walk? I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. That's all I'm saying.
When they got like anything with the American flag on, I just salute. Shit. Like,
take a kneel for that flag real quick.
You feel me? So it's you don't understand. When you're in that, oh my God. What about the ones that get caught in between?
Okay, we're going to get off there. Anywho. No. That is it for us at the last stop of the L. It's our boy Daddy Ocean. DNMONY OCION. Find me on Twitter. Try to save my homie right now. Anyway.
It's your boy Chris from Highbridge. We out of here.
Vonna Sage in here just shaking my fucking head.
It's your boy man Mike causing all the trouble. Listen, y'all know the clap-on lights? If y'all have wild sex, don't get it. Trust me, I know. Anyway, we out.
Alright, we out. Deuces.
Sometimes I feel like Lohan and Hillary Duff are the only ones with enough to fear what I'm about to say in this song. When they want you to be like somebody else and you just want to be yourself and you do it and get the feeling it's wrong. That there's when all the press articles happen and the cameras get to snapping and they try to make you out as a lie. It's ironic cause you were just trying to please them by using logic and reason. It's a lose-lose, why even try? When your ideas so frequently get rejected, people just get neglected and they never really know how to feel. Phone calls are something that's just expected for someone without the ethics and motives to try and make them a meal. They never notice the fact that you might be working without receiving the perks and they just want to say that you ain't around. I mean, there's always some blame put on yourself instead of claiming you couldn't help it. Maybe next time you ain't in town. You gon' try to try harder, cuz. Try harder, cuz. Try.